say that. We're in Estonia. All right, that's all.
You support Black Lives Matter, Lewis, don't you?
Oh, I mean, I've hashtagged once or twice. That's
You're crazy about that stuff. Being on the right side of history, isn't it? You know.
Me?
You are, yeah.
Am I?
Oh, come on, Lewis. You're like you're a pure dyed in the wool feminist. Black Lives Matter.
All lives matter.
Orange man, evil and bad. Right?
Wait, if we're trying to paint pictures here, are you sure this just isn't an attempt to justify your own point of view by pushing?
Hey.
No doubt you're more right than me.
What's my point of view? You think I'm a racist?
No, I think what
Nazi,
you're
is it?
see what you're doing. You're definitely more right than me, right? You're definitely.
I don't believe in left and right. I'm a dirty, filthy centrist, Lou.
You're trying to push me more over to the left, so you appear more centrist. Where
probably, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're fucking antiques.
What's wrong with being centrist? Why does everyone? What is it? If you're not with us, you're against us.
No, you want to be centrist, but you're the one on there buying World War II paraphernalia on the internet.
I bid on them. I didn't win them.
Oh,
that broke my
okay.
Heart, oh, really? I bid on I tried to get Lewis. What was it, like a Royal Air Force bomb? Like an RAF,
like a bomber jacket, or something.
Flight jacket or whatever, but some fucker in America outbid me.
Oh, fuck that guy in America.
Some rich white guy, probably.
That's right. That's why Black Lives Matter.
That's it.
That's just an attempt to make yourself feel better by pushing me over to the left.
I don't know. I don't give a shit about politics. I just don't care. I mean, I read Posty Mason, ARR, and I see like Martin Helma said this about Tanil Keek, and I'm like, ooh. But
oh, that was so funny when Tanil Keek.
He said he has to have his work checked, right?
Yeah,
like senior ministers have to check his work.
And then Tanil Keek's all like, what did he put? He put that line. It was like, "Judge me by the enemies that I make."
Did he?
Like, that's a famous quote. Like, fucking Churchill or someone said it. Like, "Judge me by the quality of the enemies that I make."
Oh,
and that was Tanil Keek retweeted the article of Helma having a go at him with the line in English, I guess, because he wants to be fucking cool. Like, like Churchill, Winston Churchill, judge you by the quality of the enemies I make. I'm like, settle down, champion. Okay, fucking Martin Helmer said something bad about you. This doesn't make you Time Person of the Century.
I mean, I'm very like settled down about all politics in Estonia. You're a tiny fucking country. Nobody gives a shit about you. I mean, your greatest achievement is that now Estonia is the number one with the infection rate in the world.
In the world?
Yeah, I think the Czech Republic and Estonia, they keep going back and forth.
I love it. And as we record, this is Tuesday the 16th. It's going to go out tomorrow on Wednesday. 50% of Estonians...
This is going out tomorrow?
It's going to go out tomorrow.
My birthday tomorrow, Lewis.
I know. As I keep getting reminded that I'm supposed to, do something.
Yeah.
But, we'll do something.
I get to have all the Facebook people going, people who I haven't talked to in fucking years. Oh, happy birthday, Tim.
Miss you, Tim. Estonia has the highest infection rate in Europe, as you've just told me.
In the world, I think.
In the world.
Apparently.
Kaya Kallas has a 50% approval rate right now. Like 50%.
Is that good or bad?
Bad.
Is it?
Like 50% of Estonia. It was 50% don't approve of her coronavirus actions. Like, Jesus, we're like, we're being locked down. Oh, it's too much. Oh, the woman's come along and done all of this. Like, we have the highest infection rate in the world. Do you think we got to fucking have a little lockdown for a while or something?
I mean, I genuinely think it's fucking insane that Estonia didn't shut down in December when pretty much everybody else did. The UK did, Ireland did.
Good for my business, but not so good for country in long run.
But I want your business to fail, though,
But maybe it's all gonna okay, sure. So beyond what was the difference? Estonia didn't lock down. Latvia did. Latvia's been in lockdown. They fucking haven't come out for the sun for 5 months or something.
What are their cases like?
Lower. But if we all get the vaccine, it's the vaccine that's gonna save us. So fuck it. Okay, so what happened? A few extra people died. Okay, besides that. We will all get the vaccine at the same time because we're in the bottom of the EU shit list. So we'll get the vaccines when Germany's done with them, mein Führer.
The weird thing here as well is that the death rate is super low compared to the infection rate. Because in Ireland, everyone's dying in Ireland.
Whoa, okay.
here
So
it's-
virulent Estonians are surviving
yeah.
this at higher numbers. Okay, that makes me feel better about my right-wing stance that it was good that we
Oh,
were
so
open.
you're on the right now, are you?
Yeah, oh, well,
Keep flip-flopping.
flip-flopping
You're
around.
the centrist, though.
Judge me by the standard of the enemies that I make. Yeah.
Are you able to vote in the elections here? No?
Maybe city elections, but nothing more, as a dirty foreign
Filthy fucking
Pagula
Pagula.
said. Let's we just always jump into the conversation, but this is in the next episode. I finally wrangled Tim into the studio here.
Yeah.
Thought we'd take a break from the episodes that I'm doing with Martin. It's all very serious. We're talking
Cheers,
about,
by the way.
Cheers to that, Tim. We're talking about with Martin how to run the group and how does artists work and all that shit. But what we need is a little bit of crack. And by that we mean
A bit of crack. And
a little bit of
I have
Irish
some crack in my bag for you, Lewis.
Okay, we've got
Some
things.
stuff straight from Ireland.
Okay, food from Ireland. This sounds like it should be a YouTube video, like
Oh, like an unboxing.
yeah,
tasting.
Australian lad tries
Oh.
Irish.
Those BuzzFeed fucking. Right. Now this here, Lewis, is tato.
I just spit beer all over me. Oh, it's Tato.
Now, tato is an Irish potato chip. This got crushed, of course, because I swear, like the box was a sphere when I got it. They just didn't give a shit. My problems with the mail in this
Many
country.
problems with the mail in this country.
But so these are Irish potato chips
Okay.
called tato.
So
And, they're fantastic.
if you can see here, Tato Park. That's a place. You
Yeah,
can go
they
to-
have a theme park called Tato Park.
Shit, you can go to Tato Park.
Yeah.
It's got the
Scar your kids for life.
The
with
GPS
Tato
coordinates are listed on the back. So
Yeah.
made with 100% cheese and onion cheese and onion flavor potato crisps.
Yep.
The original Irish crisps. So this is very traditional.
Because there's a
is it?
Northern Irish Tato. It's a different company.
Fuck those guys.
They're fucking They
In
stole
Northern
the Tato man and everything.
fucking orange people. They're the orange
Bad,
ones.
the
aren't
orange
they?
ones, yeah.
You said it. Orange man bad.
Orange Nation bad.
Orange Nation bad up there. Fuck them. They can stay. They can leave they've left the European Union, have they?
They're part of the UK, so yeah.
Right,
they're
so they
gone,
have
yeah,
some
yeah.
fucking-
But it's all fucked because shit, I got a fucking pimple on my cheek. Jesus Christ, hold
What
it.
are you, 12?
12, yeah. But they have this weird treaty that the North still gets some sort of EU rights, and as a result of that, like the orange people are going crazy and threatening border police and stuff. It's
Oh, because they want their EU rights, right? They're still like
no, the loyalists, so the pro UK people, they want closer ties with the UK.
Oh,
but the UK can't because it's just because they have a border with Ireland, who's in the EU, and it's just all kind of fucked up.
that's fucked.
I don't know.
So we're going through the Tato chips. Now, first thing that strikes me when I look at them is that it's all written in English, which is something like
Why is that surprising to you?
Not really when I think about it, but
Yeah.
just that I've been here for so long or
Oh,
lived
yeah, yeah.
outside of a native
Exactly,
English. You're
yeah.
used to seeing whatever. You see some friggin' Polish on the back.
And
Is
even
that
if there
usually
is
stuff?
English, this fucking drives me crazy about Estonia. They'll have the different languages, but they'll put a big white sticker over all of them and just have the Estonian.
Have Estonian one where there
And
could
I
be
have
some
to
English.
peel off. Like,
Maybe
the
there's
sticker.
English.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe
Disgraceful.
German. You could read the
Shameless.
German or something. Okay, so we're gonna.
Do a bit of what is it? ASMR.
What's that? What's AS? I don't even know what that means. What is
It's
ASMR?
like audio something or other, where like attractive women will get really close to the mic and just eat food or go, "Hey baby, I love you." Oh, did you have a bad day?
.com/Lewis. Okay, so it's a potato crisp.
Verdict.
Is this okay? It was good.
It's fucking fantastic. And you know what we do with them? We make sandwiches out of them. We make tato sandwiches. Bread and butter.
We do
and
that in
potatoes,
Australia. Now, these are is cheese and onion a typical flavor that you would?
Yeah,
have?
it's the standard flavor.
Okay.
There are others. There's like salt and vinegar, and they better fucking give me money for doing this. Some fucking promote
Yeah, I mean,
potato.
yeah, with all the eager listeners in
Oh,
Estonia
yeah,
who
for
are going to
sure,
be
yeah.
now trying to find.
I'm
Tato.
telling you though, if there's anyone from Ireland watching this, probably not, but if there is, they'll know. They'll know. Tatoes are they're a class above. You know, they're a.
You
cut
need
ahead.
to import this and then use the vast audience of Comedy Guy with Lewis Ezeram to launch your product in this local market. You see, you got
Could
to
do.
subscribe to influencers. That's how it works these days.
But
too.
like Big Lays and Big Cheeto will probably send Russian guys around with bats and break my legs.
Big
or whatever.
Cheeto.
Big potato chip.
When the first two words out of your mouth were big lays, I was like, you talking about fat chicks?
I
or
don't
what?
even know that they're fucking lays in the.
Right. But, I mean, it's good.
Yeah. Now we have the second course.
Oh, we have a
the
second
course.
okay.
The last course, really. Now, I wasn't expecting... my friend Kyle sent me a box full of this stuff, so...
I mean, it's great. I won't eat them all only because people just listen to me crunch on crisps.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Did I forget the other thing? Oh, Tim. Oh, no, I didn't. No, this, Lewis, is a rarity. This is a Freddo bar.
Freddo Frog?
Yeah.
We have this in Australia too.
Do you?
Straight up. I would eat a Freddo Frog in Australia as well. So, Freddo Frog is just like a little chocolate in the shape of a frog.
Of a frog, yeah.
This one doesn't have anything in it, right? No caramel or nothing like that.
Caramel in it, yeah.
There's caramel in it. See, typically I don't go for... See, I'm a purist, a loyalist, I think, to the old ways. Which is like...
You're an orange man.
I just want chocolate.
Yeah.
Why are we putting something in the middle of my chocolate? Some fucking caramel. Something's oozing out. I don't want nothing to ooze out.
But you love the Estonian thing of just putting cheese and everything, right? They put cheese in their sausages. They put cheese in their...
I do like that, yeah. So I do like a bit of everything. So Freddo Frog, yeah, we would have that. Absolutely, I would eat a Freddo Frog in Australia as well. Wait, but this doesn't say anything about caramel on it. I'm not sure this is a caramel.
Well, because there's Freddo bars and then there's Taz bars, which are in the shape of Taz, Tasmanian.
Well, there's many different kinds of Freddos. That could be it as well. But this is Cadbury's, and Cadbury's is traditional Australian brand as well. Sorry,
yeah.
I mean because we're all from Mother England, right? Yeah. So I absolutely would have had a Freddo Frog in my lunchbox
as a child.
As a child, yep.
Before he got robbed by the bully.
Before I got rolled. Not this is straight up dairy milk. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send a complaint to Kyle then because I demanded.
This is my favorite. Good on you, Kyle, for not putting any weird fucking chocolate in this bag.
Yeah.
I don't want
Freddo boy.
I love them. Oh, that's exactly. Cadbury's is Australian futza. Like futza's like here, like we need it. Oh, it's what I need for my soul. It's just another chocolate, right? But that's what it is to me. So okay, this
table is a disaster.
There's so many cultural.
Whoa, Jesus Christ!
That's all right. This table here. There's so many cultural balances.
Yeah.
I don't have anything Australian for you to try. I should have really.
Didn't your parents send you a package?
Yeah, but it's like they brought me Vegemite, gluten-free Vegemite.
Yeah.
Gluten-free Wheat Bix. So like cereal. Nothing really exciting.
Send any Tim Tams?
I did, but I ate them long ago, bro.
Oh yeah. I still have some of the. My Aussie friend sent me some orange Tim Tams, orange chocolate Tim Tams.
I'm skeptical.
They're all right.
They're all right. Yeah. Okay.
Can't beat the original Tim Tam though, or the double chocolate Tim Tam.
Dude, the Tim Tam is. If you've never tasted a Tim Tam before, it's a traditional Australian chocolate biscuit, and it's got chocolate and it's got biscuity bits in it, and
nothing to do with me, by the way.
Nothing to do with this guy, but it's very typical Australian. And if you're like a young lady or just a lady, and you've ever traveled the world, you've probably been in a hostel. And there's some Australian guy there going like, "Oh yeah, mate, how you doing? Oh, good. Yeah, yo, where do you come from? Oh,
is there a factory in Australia that just produces you?
Yeah, that's pretty far away.
Factory line of Lewis
it's called
Australia. Right.
Let's go, mate. You will have, if you have ever travelled, you have gone to a hostel, and there's some Australian. Yeah, mate. Oh, that's really Estonia. Oh, right on. Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's a long way away. Oh yeah, right. And all they're trying to do is get you into bed using the power of Tim Tams. It's Australia's procreation strategy for the world. They've sent young men off around the world armed with nothing but chocolate biscuits, and these chocolate biscuits are so good that you will suddenly start thinking better about this huge bogan in front of you and suddenly think that maybe he's charming because the chocolate, I don't know how they do it. They're that good.
Because of globalization, Lewis, just to shift gears a bit. Because when I was a young lad, like the Aussie bloke was still somewhat exotic, the Australian fella. He'd be working down the pub in the west coast of Ireland, like, oh, he's from Australia. Now no one gives a shit.
Yeah, sure.
About like being Irish is not special anymore. No one gives a fuck. Now it's the likes of Estonia that's the exotic white person you see abroad, and it's heartbreaking. We're not special anymore.
That's why we came here to be special.
Are we even?
We are, Tim. We are the most important two foreigners in the whole country.
Are we?
We are now, especially now that
I matter.
Now that Emakeelepäev football guy, now he's fucked, right? He's gone down the list a few rungs.
Who's this?
Do you know about there's the head coach of Emakeelepäev football club who was touching some young chicks.
Was he? Oh,
yeah. So that's all come out, and now he's fucked.
Yeah.
So he's off the list of foreigners that are good. So there's not many left, right? So it's great. Every time some foreigner gets chopped down a few rungs, we head up the list. That's
but I mean, like,
it's all right.
There's so many foreigners here now. It's I fucking love it. I just love walking through Baltiam, Turgan, just feeling like I'm not in Estonia. You know, like I'm in like Dublin or London.
So interesting, isn't it? When you walk through, it's so multicultural now. There's
the
an
pie
Italian
guy on the ground
pie
floor,
guy, the South African bloke.
You should get him on the podcast.
Yeah, I know. I got to get him on. Definitely, we've got to talk about this.
Because every time I go there, there's a pie guy. For those that don't know, he sells South African meat pies on in the market. He just keeps talking. He never shuts up.
He loves it.
He loves it. So he'd be great on the podcast.
And they're all tough. Maybe I think he might be a generation after this, but whenever I knew South Africans in Sydney, so that was when I was living there 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And I knew South Africans who had sort of lived some of their, let's say, at least early adult life in South Africa, right? They were all hard cunts. They were either like, they're like, I get up and I ride 100 kilometers in the morning because I'm a hardcore cyclist, or they were like the most successful startup guy.
Yeah.
They were like, whatever they were doing it intensely and they were doing successfully. And my theory was, it's just like, if you were that generation, you fucking went through Mandela getting out of jail. You probably put down a few fucking people yourself. You probably had to whip the gun out at some stage to protect your property. You are a hard motherfucker if you came from South Africa.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the white South Africans, they came from the Boers and the English who sent, massive amounts of people to colonize South Africa, and just from fucking traveling across the country, and that's all like hard farm cunts, right. Big fuckers from farming stock with farming strength.
And then they, as much as the history tells me, they were those tough people. They had tamed that land. They might have, put a few people in slavery and shit like that. But don't worry about that part of the story. That's irrelevant to this. That whole oppression of a minority.
I find South Africa is
don't worry about that.
So fascinating.
But then back in the day, like they were so hard. Then the English is the Boer War. The English come back and go, yo, remember the Queen, motherfuckers?
Yep.
Hey, time for some English control here. And these Boer farmers are just like, no, my friend, you are not doing this. Fuck you. Yeah. And they for a while, like, were defeating the might of the English army in the Boer War with rudimentary early guerrilla tactics. Were holding the English off. And eventually the English had to send ship after ship of troops. And it took them quite many years to put the Boers down. They
put them in concentration camps. They invented the concentration.
They eventually did, but these Boer motherfuckers put up a fight.
They're hard fuckers, They're hard fuckers.
They're hard.
And so I was reading recently. This is not interesting at all, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was looking through. I was just watching the rugby, and I was looking at the list of names of the South African rugby players, and there's a load of French names in there. So I went looking into it, and apparently, like the French Huguenots, I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Huguenots.
They sent like a bunch of Huguenots down to South Africa, and
I've got a pair of Huguenots.
Almost every fucking rugby player is descended from these French Huguenots.
Big
fuckers, big strong fuckers. I don't know where.
No, it's okay. That's like heritage is an interesting part, right? Like, because you've got talking about rugby, then you've got those Kiwi blokes, the Maori blokes, right? Those big boys, and it's actually a problem because those Maori kids, they're like 12 and they're like twice the size of you, right? They're men by 12, and there's at least when I was growing up in Australia. Everyone was trying to deal with it politically correct, but there was a problem, right? A 12-year-old Maori kid is a big son of a bitch already. He's strong, he's tough already, and he's just like, it's a rugby game. He is mowing down poor little white kids who are 12 as well, just rampaging over them, and it was like
Boris Johnson.
Yeah,
did you ever see that video of Boris Johnson? No. He played rugby with some underprivileged school kids, and he just destroyed them. He didn't give a shit. He just barreled right into them. And there's this famous picture of him, just tiny little like 10-year-old kid, and he just biff.
Boom, just puts the shoulder in, sends one flying. Boom, good on you, Boris. He's got every fantasy of him being able to just take out little children.
But like rugby was always an equalizer in that sense, in the 90s anyway, because skill still mattered. Nowadays, it's just, let's just get as big as we can. Skill is kind of going out the window. It's just get these big Maori kids and just fucking...
Isn't it hard to explain, when you're trying to explain sport, it's hard to explain. There's rugby, rugby league. What you call rugby is probably rugby union is the full name of it, right? Union. Then there's rugby league,
which is closer to American football than...
No, it's closer to rugby union.
No, but like in rugby league, the play stops when there's a tackle.
Well, in that regard, but
because I think
in
like
almost every other regard, it's not like...
Because American football it descends from rugby.
Right, okay.
And rugby league is kind of the old traditional way of playing rugby. Union kind of split off from it. So rugby league there's a lot that's in American football it's still in rugby league. So, completely two completely different sports though.
It's tough for you to explain that to an Australian because we love rugby league. Rugby league is the sport of the common man.
Not
Australia.
AFL, not footy.
Maybe down south. Well, here's the difficulty, right? We've got the rugby union, we've got the rugby league, then you've got the AFL, which is somewhat in the ballpark of Gaelic football, in a similar sort of thing. You got to explain that to someone who doesn't even know what the fuck, hasn't even seen these games before. It's very difficult to explain, right?
Yeah, you have to be into sports.
And then I'm all like, oh yeah, and a game of cricket, 5 days. Game of cricket can last 5 days, exactly, and it's tremendous. It's the greatest thing I've ever watched.
I've been playing chess a lot lately.
Really? Okay. Streaming? Do you watch these like those streaming matches or?
No, I just see. I like playing fast, but I'm terrible. So I just play fast and lose. But I'm like, yeah, look at me playing fast. I had Dan. Dan popped over to my place on
Daniel Weinberg's Mulletbergs.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think he'll mind me telling this story. He was trying to copulate with a lady, and she stood him up. So he came to my house.
That's what you do when you can't get laid. You go over to Tim's.
Ate my food and drank my rum. And just destroyed me in chess. Just fucking destroyed me. Yeah.
So the kid's got something.
Yeah. Every single person I play beats me because I just want to play fast.
Okay. I don't know how to play chess.
At all. You don't even know the basics?
No, I don't even know that. King, queen, rooks. I get.
You know the moves though. You know like what each piece does. And
50%, kind of. The rooks go forward and the queen. I don't know.
It's a fantastic game. I mean,
I some artsy fartsy intellectual poofter shit. That's what Australian
shit. Well, I am a poofter, so I am. But
that's what we say in Australia. Sorry, Tim.
I only got into it because, like, seemingly in the last year, the popularity of chess has fucking exploded. Like, it's all over Twitch now. Like, it's constantly. Front page is all fucking chess. So.
Really? Are you cutting off the word there? Because when I go to Twitch, the front page is chest.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons why chess is so popular is because you have all these attractive women now who play chess, right? And they wear the push-up bras and.
What do you think about that, Tim? What do you think about? I mean, okay, they're playing reasonable chess.
I think it's great. Like, there's a lot of chess purists who hate it. They're like they don't like the kind of, because there's this tour, like in chess there's these ancient tournaments that have been around since the 1800s, very formal, people wear suits and all that, and now there's this new tournament called Pog Champs that was just put together by a bunch of Twitch streamers, and all the chess purists are like, oh, this won't do, this is not real chess. So there's like this divide in the chess community at the moment, and I think the Twitch lads are fantastic. Fuck the traditional suit-wearing cunts.
It's interesting. They're still playing chess.
Yeah.
They're still playing chess with the same rules. It's not like chess light, where the queen can move wherever she wants or something like that. No, it's real chess.
Yeah. But there's these old farts, not even old farts, like Magnus Carlsen. He'd be the number one. He's the Norwegian kid who's like number.
I know his name.
Yeah, okay. he's like, no, this is not real chess. You know.
It's because he hasn't got tits. True, if he had tits, he'd be like, I mean, sell it, honey. Go for it.
Like, I'm all for it. Fucking go for it. Make money. Get paid, Lewis. Get paid. Get that Skrilla, as the kids say.
I mean, that's a good one, because as long as you can then, like, anytime one uses their looks to get noticed, that's fine. Sure, no problems with that. But then as a career choice, you have to be wary that how's that going to go for you in the long term. Now, in the case of chess, maybe you're getting really good at chess. You spend 10 years on Twitch, streaming, getting your tits out, playing a great game of chess. But in the end of the 10 years, at least you can play a good game of chess.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. Like, cool.
But it's also great because, like, these big old tournaments that are there, like the winning player gets like 20 grand or something like that. You know, whereas these women on chess are making probably 20 grand a day
with donations and the streaming
and
it's very interesting that now Twitch is like more just people talking,
just chatting is the biggest category,
which it's usually an attractive woman just chatting to a bunch of horny dudes. That's kind of what it is.
You don't think I could make it on Twitch just chatting? How are the boys?
With your sparkling conversation.
Whoa!
Oh, there we go. I got to stop knocking over the table.
Just rubbing butter.
With this sparkling
on my belly.
conversation, do we think we can get thousands of listeners on Twitch? I'm not sure like that. If we actually showed faces,
need to get a woman on there. That's it. Woo women, woo! We're all for women here.
Tim Reedy, #1 supporter of equal rights.
Salute.
So there you go, busting out the Estonian Tim. What I wanted to get to, actually.
Let's get to the notes, Lewis.
We can get to the notes. I've always got notes.
Reference the notes.
Reference the notes. I want to know your thoughts, because we had a day in Estonia recently, and it was the Emakeelepäev, the mother language day. Emakeelepäev. The Mother Tongue Day.
Is it a day to celebrate the Estonian language?
The Estonian language, which the whole concept of a day where we're just focused on the syntax and grammar of the language is amazing to me. Again, from English, we don't give a fuck. There's no English.
Well, Lewis, you got to remember that, like, English just developed over time, whereas a language like Estonian, like, some guy just sat down and standardized it one day. You know what I mean? True.
I mean, it wasn't quite like that, but okay. I think it
was. I think some guy just sat down and standardized Estonian, like in the 1700s or some shit like that.
Okay, maybe someone can write in the comments or something. Yeah. Okay, so
watching this.
Nevertheless, no one's watching. That's right. Please, right? Sorry, because my tits are not out. That we don't have any viewers.
Do you want me to get my tits
out? Okay, it's the Mother Language Day. It's the Emakeelepäev, and to celebrate, so we appreciate it's a small language that we need to preserve this. That part of the tradition for the last 13 years of the Mother Language Day is that on Vikar Radio, which is a part of ERR, the national broadcaster, they have a national Estonian language dictation test. And part of the celebrations of this day is that you can, and what they do is at like 10 a.m. at Vikar Radio, whatever it was, the 15th, so maybe it was yesterday actually, I think they like read out this text that's been designed. Like they got a poet or some famous person, whatever, writer, and you have to like, I forget if it's like write it out or fix the grammar mistakes or answer. Actually, I should have looked into this further, exactly what this is. They do a dictation test, and then you could go to the website and submit your results, and we're all sitting around jerking each other off about the greatness of the Estonian language. And that's...
Do you have a problem with, like, you sound very bitter towards this whole concept, this whole process.
It's interesting because I cannot imagine anything happening in English. Like, imagine like, hey, Tim, hey, you know the English language? So on the radio today, they're going to broadcast a bit of a dictation, bit of a thing, bit of a paragraph, some poetry maybe, some sort of literature. And you're just going to answer some questions and then submit them to the radio station. That's a big thing that we should all get into.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, am I back in school? is this high school dictation in English class, and you'd be like, I stopped being interested in that the moment I finished my English exam in year 12. Yet across Estonia, thousands upon thousands of interested people willingly and happily will do this dictation test just for the fun of the Estonian language. That's the bit I find interesting.
But I mean, English is it's a dumb language, Lewis. It's just a dumb I mean, it's a very complex language with all kinds of whatever. But it's just, when you boil it down, it's a fucking dumb language. Estonian is it's just a deeply complex language. Like, I can't even if I pulled a Stuart Johnson and learned the language so that I could actually have a conversation with someone, I still wouldn't know fuck all about the language. You know, it's so they kind of need to do this every year probably to just retain.
I get you. Yeah, it certainly means something. And hats off to English ERR. First of all, if you're an Estonian person listening to the podcast, I highly recommend that you get your news from English ERR, right?
Don't they just auto-translate Estonian?
Not quite. There are some number of people in the office or something. But because what it is, right? If you view regular ERR, or heaven forbid, Delphi or some other media portal, you get all the bullshit, right? You used to get all the Donald Trump shit. You get what the fuck Birgit Susanna had for breakfast. What did Uku Suvesta do yesterday? You're seeing all of that bullshit if you read regular Estonian media. Very good stuff in the middle there, but also a whole host of bullshit. But go to the English language version of ERR. Now, this might be regular shit for you, Tim, because that's what you might be looking at. Estonian people, there's no bullshit. There's no yellow pages stuff. No mention of Uku Suvesta in there. Nothing about BSH's fucking cleavage, all right? It's just straight up, like, average of 3 to 5 articles per day, what happened in the country. I submit to you, Tim, that's all you need to know. We don't need news. We don't need this much news. Like, fucking, what's the update? Okay, it was a little bit different when Trump was. What did Trump tweet the last 20 minutes? How's Kaya Kallas's corona going? You just need an update like every day.
Yeah, but you're looking at that from your consumer perspective. Companies like Delphi and I don't know, whatever. I'm living here for 7 years. I haven't a fucking clue about anything. But all these media companies, they're making money off it. So
sure, but it's bullshit.
Yeah, but they're making money. So
right. So my advice to Estonian people is don't follow that bullshit. Right? There's actually a way that you could, like, in this entire great nation of Estonia, with our vast population of 1.3 million, only 5 interesting things happen every day. There's not that much shit that happens every day. You don't need updates every 20 minutes.
I actually thought about, like, because I get the Põhja Tallinn newspaper, the free shit that gets stuffed in the mailbox that no one reads. Like, the shit that I see out my window in North Tallinn, I should start my own fucking news page. Yesterday, for example, right?
Yes, please.
Some guy, I think this is what happened, he parked his car like halfway across the road and just got out, and because he was high on heroin, I think, and just started hugging this woman. This happened right outside my apartment.
Which, like, the main road, that Sole Street?
No, the Manufacturi.
Oh, okay, the little one that comes around.
He just left it in the middle of the road. I saw him hugging this woman, and then he ran away, and he left his car there. I had to go around him, and then because I was going to the shop, and like an hour later, the car was just still there.
So many questions. Now, first of all, did the woman come from the car, or she was just
I don't know. I just turned down the street and saw this crazy guy hugging this woman, jumping up and down.
Okay. And he runs off.
Ran away.
And what did she do at that stage? Do you remember? Like,
she was just like,
So she seemed to be like an incidental extra.
She was a victim.
She was a victim. Okay, yeah. Victim. Fine if we're going to use our politically correct speech.
I mean, the car is not there today, so I assume either he came back and drove away, or the police came. 2 days before that, I drive to the Selver on Sola, and there's these two guys in their 50s, and they're just like like high as fuck on probably fentanyl or something, and one guy's like ah, and the other guy's like ah, yelling at him, and it's like this Shakespearean fucking tragedy happening on my street.
Wow.
Every day there's a new thing, so I thought like I should just fucking document this shit and make a website. You know?
That's the real
North Talon is fucking chaos.
Maybe that's the part, because why I think ERR is new English news is interesting and relevant for Estonians, because first of all, you cut all the yellow pages bullshit. You cut all the celebrity gossip. I don't give a shit what Udo Sepp is doing, right?
Women love that shit though.
Sorry?
They love like gossip.
Right. But if you don't want any of that shit. But the other thing is that they do have a bias, and the bias is like anti-ECRA. Like, but so does like most Estonian media in English. This is more important when ECRA was in power. They would definitely downplay the whole ECRA thing. Martin Helme says some fucking crazy shit, as was the game plan for ECRA on any given day. And there would be pages written in Postimees or Delphi or whatever the fuck. And it would be like 2 sentences at the end of the article in English, like buried right down the bottom. They were very clearly trying to protect our beautiful image of nice Nordic.
But isn't that media in general though? Like the media is very, at the moment at least, very anti-conservative, pro.
Now it's cool to do that again. Okay, now it's that we're getting somewhere. Trump was almost.
But to be fair, like ECRA, my God, like have you ever heard who's the? There's a young guy. He's in the European Parliament in ECRA. Is it?
Was that the dude who was selling phones on the Tallink ship?
Might be. He's the
Yak Madistor?
Yeah, Yak Madistor. Have you ever
yeah.
heard him speak in English?
No, I haven't.
Sounds like Kermit the Frog. Like,
really?
They just have I've never, like, there's very few ECRA members. No offense to all the ECRA people watching this now, but you're a bunch of melts, just a bunch of weirdos. You know, like Ruben Kalep, for example.
Oh yeah, with that mustache. Oh my God.
Odd. And they're always so forward with their like, yes, we're against immigration because these black people. And it's fucking, just have a fucking Tato and relax. You know what I mean? They're just odd people, you know. Like if they want conservatism to spread and take root in Estonia, they'd want to like get some normal people in the party.
But I guess they're appealing like how they appear in English, maybe not how they appear in Estonian.
Oh, Yak Madisson, you have to listen. He gave a speech in the European Parliament, and I was like, buddy. They hire translators so you can speak Estonian. Stick to the Estonian. He sounds like fucking Kermit the Frog. No offense, Yak Madison. I'd have a pint with you.
No offense to Kermit the Frog.
We'll sort out this immigration issue, you and me, buddy. Be grand.
So English ERR, right? It's the place to go if you don't want all of the bullshit of the sort of shitty status updates. You don't want Delphi binging your phone all the time. Bing! Something else. I like it, right? So,
I suppose because they have a small staff, right? They just have
right,
to
exactly.
focus
Due to their,
on
I don't think it's some deliberate thing by them.
Yeah.
I just think due to their limitations. And I guess getting back to the Emakeelepäev thing, right? Like, first of all, congratulations to the staff of English ERR, because there was a whole... I mean, they had a series of articles about Emakeelepäev. None of them mentioned Stuart Johnson. So excellent work by the team there of finding another Estonian who another foreigner who speaks Estonian and not mentioning Stuart Johnson. Good work on that one. There's apparently one or two others that do it.
Yeah. Why haven't you learned Estonian yet, Lewis?
Haven't you learned Estonian?
I speak fluent Estonian.
Turn it around.
Tere, minu nimi on Tim.
Oh, yes.
Mulle meeldib piim. Ja I can't. I was trying to figure out I'm Irish. How do you say that in Estonian? Ma olen Iirimaalt.
Iirimaalt. Oh, Iirimaalt. Oh, you are from Ireland, not that you are Irish.
Yeah, from Ireland, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say Irish.
Now, this Emakeelepäev, they had, for this Vico Radio competition, they had different categories.
It was a competition?
It was a competition.
Oh, right.
Right.
I thought it was just randomly complete this quiz.
I think from what I was reading that they do kind of, it's not like there's a number or something. They just kind of score you in some sort of arbitrary high school style system. but there are different categories. So the categories were Estonians abroad. Okay, so if you're a bit simple, you grew up in Canada or something, Vaga here, we can speak to you. Okay. Students in Estonia. I didn't understand what, like, Estonian students or something. That was another category. Philologists. I guess they're like language people. Is that a philologist?
Vexillologists?
Philologists.
Philologist.
Is that like a language person?
I assume it'd be like philologist?
Philologist. Like, I thought that was like students of language or something.
I think vexillology is
Okay.
I don't know what I'm talking
So there was Estonians abroad, students in Estonia, philologists, hard of hearing. So this is like the Special Olympics for Estonian comprehension. So they've got one, because not only did they offer it on the radio with the list talking version, there was a sign talk. I think there was a signing version, or there was one where the lip reading one or something. Something for the hard of hearing. So the hard of hearing get their own category. Very good. There is general adults. I guess that's your open category. So, you know, your regular person. But best entry from a non-native Estonian speaker. Basically, who wins Best Foreigner of the Year award?
Yeah.
Now, actually, I didn't follow this up to see who won this. I really should have done that before this. Can I find this out?
Probably some Asian guy in Tartu.
Oh, my phone is it Saburi Ken? Is Saburi Ken?
Could be. He as far as I know, he speaks very well Estonian. Now.
Maybe it's Saburi Ken one this year. I don't know. Do you? Fucking my phone's doing the recording of this, but I want to know
I have my phone. What do you want? What do you want to look up here?
Who won? Oh, I don't even know how to look at this. Is it Emakeelepäev?
Don't look
Okay. All right. I want to look at the history. So there's the
anime figurines.
Well, first of all, we'll go to News English ERR. News.err.
While he's doing that, I have to point out that this podcast is brought to you by Alexander.
They don't say.
Piss.
I want to know who was Foreigner of the Year, because that's pretty much it, right? Like, does Stuart Johnson win it for the 12th year in a row or whatever it is? No, because they also highlighted Adam Cullen, who's another foreigner who's been here as long as
second time you've mentioned Stuart Johnson. You got him on the brain, Lewis.
It is. Well, I don't know any other foreigners who speak Estonian. Do I?
Oleg. I mean, my theory is that Oleg is an alien. Like he just has to be an alien.
Okay, maybe Vikerradio. Wait, Vikerradio. Okay, now it's all going to be in Estonian, so I don't understand it. Shit. Results of e-prediction? 15th of March, 1025. There's a picture of Jan Uspeld. Okay. Results. Wait, how do I click? Oh, wait. Here we go. Oh, shit. And why has it translated it to English? Do you have some shit?
Yeah, everything auto translates on my phone.
I was about to be like, God, just auto trans, but your phone does this.
Phone does that, yeah.
Holy shit! Because I've got Tim's phone and I'm going through the results, and it shows in English like Uppilana, and I'm like that, and it just switches to students, and I was like, holy shit, what has just happened now? But
you're like, fuck, I can read Estonian.
I know. Or I'm like, does it know? Do they know? So. Okay, so here we go. The results from 2020. Lisa Andra Lohu. She was the overall winner in the adult
What's
category.
her name? Lisa what?
Lisa Andra. Lisa, of course, with two eyes. Lisa Andra.
Congratulations, Lisa.
In the student category, we had Ingrid Alla from Hugo Trefner school. So, okay, we'll leave you for the Emakeelepäev coach. In the philologists.
Or you.
Is the Kais Alikivi, sorry, Mezzo one. I guess that was like the language specialists category. Estonians abroad. Medica Saarman. Okay, very good Medica. We don't know where you're from, but we could find that out. Hearing impaired. Olav Cruz, very good. There was a smart device special award. How do I turn this back to Estonian? But
I don't know, actually.
Where's the foreigner category? There's Estonians abroad. maybe I misunderstood that because I thought it was like best entry from non-native Estonian, and I was just hoping to find like foreigner of the year, but it's not. It's Estonians abroad. Oh no, we've got a Sandra Nakur with another mother tongue. That would be it. Sandra Nakur won this, but where does Sandra Nakur sounds a little Estonian? Where do you come from?
How do you spell that?
Nahkur.
Nahkur, yeah, that's definitely Estonian. Yeah.
Right. So, but that's maybe she was a Valis Estlana.
What does that mean?
Like the foreign Estonian, like that. You know what I mean? Like she grew up in America or Canada.
Oh, okay, it might be
or something. So her mother, the technicality. See, here's the thing. I've interpreted this as foreigner of the year, where actually it's if your mother tongue is not Estonian. So you could be some Valis Estlana growing up in Canada with the mum and dad or the grandmother or whatever.
So you mean to say there's no category for us?
There should be. No, it's done.
Lewis, you're always foreigner of the year in my world. Anyway, so.
We've got another beer here. Fantastic. Yeah, so it's a Valis. So again, it looks like I didn't really look further into this, so I'm sorry to Sandra if you're listening. I apologize. But it looks like a Valis Estlana. It looks like a foreign Estonian. Yeah. Rather than I was like, is it going to be Saburi Ken? Is it going to be Tim Reedy? Who are they going to pick?
Yeah. I'm acing all the Estonian language fucking lessons at the moment.
So, yeah, I'm fascinated by this language testing. And not only that, okay, the next line I got from this, but there's the Estonian Language Institute, and while the test was going on Vikerraadio, they had a hotline set up that you could call with your Estonian language questions. So imagine that, Tim. In Ireland, there's the National Day of English-speaking people, which already I imagine,
and we have our own language,
gets your blood to boil already, right? Yeah. I don't know whether Irish. It's National English-speaking Day, so this has already made you Irish people very happy. Yeah. And then not only do you have to do a test from the radio, but if you had a question about the English language, you could call up the English language board in Ireland, and they would answer your English grammatical questions.
But I mean, that just goes to show, like, Estonian, it's just complex and it has many layers, and English is just fucking dumb.
It's just bullshit language.
It's just dumb language. Yet it's the lingua franca of the world, you know?
It's right. It's not. Wait. Oh, yeah. So, and to keep going with the mystery of the deep research that I did for this podcast, there's the Estonian Language Institute, and the government recently, I think Yuri's one, not even Kaya, she's been too busy getting the corona and stuff, right? But then they made the Estonian Language Board. There's the Estonian Language Institute, and then there's Estonian Language Board. This is how serious they take it. So the institute, as much as I've understood, was there to do the research. They were like, we're preserving the language. We are the ones. I think they're the ones that do the dictionary. Like what you said. Remember you were saying earlier, like 20 minutes ago, that like Estonian language was invented by some dude in a field.
Standardized.
And some dude in a field 200 years ago.
I never said nothing about no field.
The German slave owner made him free. And he was like, what's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to write all the rules down or something, right? Yeah. He did it under a tree in Viljandi or something, I presume. Right. That's what the institute does. They set the rules. When there's new words every year, they're all like, yo, here are the new words. Here's a ruling on how to do this. But now the government created the Estonian Language Board, and the board is the secret police of the Estonian language.
Gestapo.
They are the Gestapo of eesti keeles, right? They are the ones they're involved with policy, they're involved with enforcement. They're the ones that you keep reading these articles about. Fucking Dennis Lucas is all like, well, every time I get a hamburger, I can't speak Estonian or some shit. And they're like, the English is taking over the service sector and we're gonna change everything. And they're the ones like doing implementation. Like that's how serious Estonia takes it. There's a research institute and a policy, and they're both funded by the government.
And you think this is ridiculous or silly or something? Or, well, what's your perspective on this? Because I think it is important to, you know, to have all of this bureaucracy around the language.
Right.
Because I'm from a country where our language got fucking raped and pushed to the
That's an interesting one. I don't present this as bullshit. I just present this as very interesting.
Yeah.
For me. Now, you've got a new... Because I'm, 100% English speaking. There's no other... It's not like, Aboriginal dialect is something that we should have preserved in Australia. There's nothing like that in that way. So... It's just English. It's on the menu at McDonald's. It's on everything. There's no need. There's no... Growing up, I could never imagine the need for a language institute. Yeah. I'd be like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And then in Estonia, we need that, right? Yeah. It's just interesting for me. I'm not trying to say it's bullshit.
Because, like, from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
You know, everyone always like blames the English for the death of Irish culture and language and all that stuff. But really, we did it to ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we've been an independent country since the 1920s, 1940s, 20s. Depends on who you talk to. Like every bad thing that's been done to the Irish language, which is a language, by the way. Estonians don't even know Ireland exists. So never mind, we have our own language. Everything bad that's happened since then, it's our fault. I grew up hating my own language because it was taught very badly. It was forced on kids. The way it was taught was just draconian. It hasn't changed in probably 50 years. And so the language has been slowly pushed more and more into these tiny little communities on the west coast of Ireland. And we did it to ourselves. So, to me, it's fucking beautiful that they do this. That they, every year that they love and want to preserve their language so much that the government are going to create the fucking Estonian language board, and they're going to sit in a committee and decide, right, we need to invent a new word for this, or we need to figure this out and do this. Like that to me is like, oh yeah, fucking do it, Estonia, do it, keep it. Because I did read an article once about some ECRA guy. Complaining about how English is now leaching into Estonian society so much that there's so many loan words now from English and Estonian that it's corrupting the Estonian language. And as an Irishman, I'm like, fucking put your foot down and protect your language. You know, that's why I love Sander so much, because Sander Oigas, he apparently, because I don't know, but I've heard that he uses a lot of archaic Estonian concepts within the language in his stand-up. And I think it's fucking beautiful and fantastic. And keep it up.
That would be interesting for me. I understand that as well. And, like, how would that be in English? Like, does Tim Reedy come to the stage and be like, oh, hello, dear
Good afternoon.
Now I'm using archaic versions of the English language.
But there are archaic, like...
Yes, but how would that be? You know what I mean? If you tried to... That concept sounds beautiful when talking about the Estonian language. But it sounds fucking ridiculous when talking about the English language. That a stand-up comedian would be relevant and would be a cultural icon for using Old English in their set, right? That sounds like what you speak like you're in some Netflix soap opera from the 1700s, like. But if it happens in Estonian, that's cultural and that's relevant and that's very interesting. Wait, so we're going back. So the Irish language. Okay, I like it, right? I am the poor dumb one here, right? I'm the dumb, only English, no other. So I've got that angle.
Because I'm ashamed. Like I'm ashamed of my.
I feel like you've got a lot of shame in your life, but let's just go with the
Irish people are
thing,
full of shame, just full of shame. Even if we didn't do anything wrong, we're just like, oh fuck. Shame.
Okay, so let's go back to the 1920s in Ireland, right? How this got here. So you said you've been an independent country since
1922. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now before that, what was that before that? You some English? You got some English or something?
Well, the English Ireland, the island of Ireland was part of the United Kingdom for like 900 years. We had a failed uprising in 1916, bunch of lads, bunch of legends, fucking took over the General Post Office in Dublin and a bunch of other places, and they got bombed out by the English, and their insurrection failed. And in 1922 we got Home Rule, which is basically like for Ireland being sound in World War One, we got to make our own decisions as a country. It wasn't full independence. And then I think somewhere in the 40s we finally got independence, but Northern Ireland stayed in the UK, and we beat the shit out of each other for the next 40 years. We bombed the north, and lots of people died, and now we're just
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
Sunday, bloody Sunday, boy. That's it.
So by the time Ireland becomes an independent nation, English, unfortunately,
technically, by the way, this is a very interesting fact.
Oh, yeah.
On all our war memorials and monuments, we'll put like Ireland 1916 to 2XXX, because officially we're not an independent country yet until the north and the south like come back together. Where are you going?
Oh, just looking at the time.
So technically we're not.
You start talking about Northern Ireland, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, there you offend
So
my
like,
orange sensibilities.
There was an old freedom fighter. His name was Dan Keating. He lived. My friend James in Ireland actually used to drive him to town every now and then. When he turned 100, when he turned 100 in Ireland, the president gives you a check for like either €100 or €1,000 or something. He refused it. He refused to accept it because the old freedom fighters and the old Irish Republicans do not recognize the current government as the head of state.
They want a completely independent Ireland.
Yeah, because see, Ireland had a civil war in the 20s because Michael Collins and a bunch of lads who fought in the War of Independence, they accepted this agreement with the English government to say, right, we're going to be the Irish Free State, but we're still going to, pledge loyalty to the king and all this shit. And then the Civil War happened because a bunch of us boys down in the south said, fuck you, we're not paying no allegiance to no king. So we had a civil war, we fought each other, and then after that we became independent. So.
Is that like it sounds like a war or whatever, a way of looking at it that is kind of pragmatic versus idealistic. That the first blokes, as according to what you just told me, were all like, look, I talked to the English king guy, right? Like,
they're going to give us.
He's going to leave us alone.
Yeah, yeah.
If we just do some lip service, like yeah, whatever, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
They'll leave us alone. That's a great thing. We want them to leave us alone. But then you've got your boys down south who are like,
fucking south,
that, we don't care.
That's
all right.
it.
Both. I can see something to the pragmatism as well. Just like, but I get it, right? I mean, I've got Queen Elizabeth on my money, so I'm not,
like,
Australian.
no one gives a shit anymore in Ireland because we've moved on. We're part of the EU. Hey, the English, hey, great bunch of lads. But I still very much feel I'm very anti Irish government, anti-government in general, and I still fucking hate the fucking Queen. She's a fucking cunt. The royal family are cunts, a lot of them, because they represent this entity that raped my country for hundreds of years, and now the new generations of young Irish people just don't care. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They just want their fucking Xboxes and their Marks and Spencers and their
with their Xboxes. I think that
but this is why I have so much appreciation for Estonians holding on to their language, because Estonians and Irish people have this shared kind of rape. In Estonia,
Jesus.
it was the Danes, then the Swedes, then the Germans, then the Russians. In Ireland, it was the English. So we have this kind of this shared need to protect our culture, but Irish people don't give a shit. So that's why our nation is dying, because we're doing it to ourselves.
Ooh, that's very that's some deep psychology. I mean, we know Estonian people can be a little bit self-disliking but Jesus, that was
because Irish people just want money. We just want the money. The Irish government would have Usually the rule of thumb is whatever happens in America, the UK copies. Whatever happens in the UK, the Irish copy. You know, so as long as the government are getting money and as long as
So what about back in the whenever you guys became independent, not independent, or whatever, right? Same but different.
Fucking word.
Something. All right, back in the whatever 20s or 40s or whatever, as we said. By that stage, the English language was already so embedded in Ireland that it was difficult to, it was nigh on impossible to let the true English language,
because
the true Irish language come out.
The Welsh, there's a massive revival of the Welsh language at the moment. It's been spoken at home more now than it was 50 years ago. They figured out some way. I assume it's the school system. They made it pleasant to learn.
Right. So back in the 40s or whatever, there was like, okay, back then, let's say you were this revolutionary, your boys down in the South who were ready.
I did it.
You, Tim Reaney, were hiding in some foxhole, ready to take a slice at some English cunt who's trying to take your land. Now, as you go to your fellow Irish brethren and brothers and say, brothers, let's attack those English sons of bitches in Dublin right now, would you have been saying that in Irish language or English language to them?
Well, in the Southwest, because see, it's different for me, Lewis, because I'm from Kerry, right? Now, County Kerry, little county in the southwest of Ireland.
In the southwest, okay.
It's where I think we have the second most Irish language speakers in the country. So people from West Cork, which is on the west, it's all West Coast. We retained the language more than everybody else. So in the War of Independence, the language survived because the fucking English soldiers didn't have a clue what Irish people were saying or whatever. So it was used as a method of communication. So yeah, if I was in what were they called? The flying columns that used to attack the British soldiers.
Sort of guerrilla sort of force.
No, just like 14 guys in a field with guns and bombs. They would have spoke Irish to each other. Yeah.
Okay. So, but that wasn't enough. With the majority of Ireland still speaking enough of English, by that stage you're like, look, most of you were doing English.
And now it's like, I reckon in 100 years, Irish will be looked at in the same way as like fucking Esperanto or something. It's going to just be a weird language that only enthusiasts will speak it. It will not be spoken in the home anymore. And that'll be it. That'll be the death of the language.
It seems impossible that if there was a country, let's say like Ireland, and it was sort of, 50-50 or on the border back in the 40s or something. Hey, it's our new country. A lot of us are speaking English, but there's still a fair bit of this Irish going around. Like, it seems like impossible to extract the English language out. Like, that's going to be dominant.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. Like the death of the Irish language is inevitable unless the government fucking step in and just make it cool. Make it a cool thing to want to speak your own language.
You know, make it cool.
Of course, because the adults are not going to.
So what are we going to make a TikTok channel or something? Going to make TikToks in
Irish?
Yeah,
maybe. Like, I fucking hate TikTok. Shout out to fucking Caleb Brunick who has
he's number one in Estonia. TikTok.
He made a TikTok video that got like 6 million views last week.
Really?
And it's just no offense, Caleb. It's fucking shit.
Bullshit.
It's just
Caleb's
nonsense.
Bullshit to begin with.
It's a video of a woman who washes a glass with loads of like fairy liquid, and it's Caleb going, "My dad is a 6'5" Marine. If he saw you using that much soap, he'd say your ass is grass and I'm the mower," or some shit like that.
And that's it.
Fucking 6 million views.
Is he a girlfriend?
No offense, Caleb. Huh?
Is his girlfriend?
No, it's just because TikTok is just no originality.
Like, I don't understand it.
Like James Humphreys, Welsh comedian in Estonia, he put it best when he said TikTok is the death of comedy. It's just the fucking death of comedy. Because all he did was he took somebody else's clip and put a comment on it, and it was the number one video that day. And it was a shit video, Caleb, and I'm sorry.
How would we?
No offense.
How would we feel if Caleb was an attractive woman and instead he just shown his cleavage and got 6
Well, then he
million
would have got
views?
like 20 million views or something.
Because I haven't had Caleb on this podcast, and I was like, do I do it? But then I gotta talk to Caleb.
He
like,
never he just won't shut up. He just keeps.
Dave Chappelle of Estonia.
Dave Chappelle of Estonia.
Because I said that once when I was drunk and high.
But no, you're right. Like it'll take some TikTok thing to make the language cool again.
Okay,
I'm sure there is somebody like someone doing Irish language TikToks because it's the kids that need to.
It was
revive
hipster.
The language, you know.
It was hipster. If it was, I mean, I guess let's bring it back to Estonia. They're in the same way that we could see young Estonian people doing things in Estonian, producing Estonian handicrafts, producing culture. You know, I got
Estonians are adorable though. They're married to their culture in this country. Absolutely. You know, Irish people, we just scream and shout about, hey, go to the pub at the weekend and fight and oh yeah, the fighting Irish and all this shit. Like we don't really, only in those communities on the west coast of Ireland do we still like deeply care about the culture. Now, we have this thing every Christmas. It's called the Wren.
The Wren.
The Wren. Every year, it's the last it's the last of the old pagan nonsense that we still do, where everybody gets shit faced. I think it's the day after Christmas, St. Stephen's Day. And everyone just walks from house to house on the west coast of Ireland. We have a trailer that'll have a chicken or a goat in it. And everyone will go into every house and they play a song. And they play the song, the wren, the king of all birds. And then people will give them alcohol. And it'll just be a big piss up where people march from house to house to house to house to house in their local communities.
Wait, there's a trailer with a chicken and a goat.
Yeah, so I've seen it happen.
Like alive?
Yeah, alive, yeah.
Oh, not like roasted. Not like, here's some roasted goat.
But they'll carry these giant sticks with this representation of the wren.
What's the wren?
It's a bird.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah.
And they'll just sing songs and just be pagan fucking wild people.
Godless sons of bitches. That's what we need.
And that's it, you know, that's it. Other than that, it's just a bunch of Americans.
Okay, so we show that stuff, you run around.
This is a good conversation because it's fucking St. Patrick's Day when this is released, so, you know.
Oh, it's tomorrow, it's St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day,
Your birthday. I had no idea. So what are we going to do for St. Patrick's Day?
Fuck, I don't know. Want to get drunk?
Drunk, yeah. I guess that's it.
It is funny every year, like, everyone's like, oh, Tim, man, oh, you're Irish. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's my fucking birthday.
Remember me, okay?
To be fair, I used to go to America every year for St. Patrick's Day before I moved here until 2013. I went like 10 years in a row, and I would carry my passport around and show like doorman, because there'd be lines around every pub in Chicago and New York that I'm not queuing up. I just show my passport. It's my fucking birthday on St. Patrick's Day. I'm Irish. Let me in. Oh, come in.
It's Patrick's Day tomorrow. So, okay. So I see your closer connection to this, you know, kind of language thing. You've got this language that's died out.
Because like I said, I'm ashamed that I don't speak my own language. Every Irish person should be ashamed.
Ashamed. Okay, and does this produce a general feeling of shame?
No, because young Irish people don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't care anymore.
So why are you so socially aware, Tim Reedy? Like,
because I'm from God's country. I'm from County Kerry. And in Kerry, Kerry is just the greatest place on the face of the earth.
Clearly.
You know? Which it fucking hurts that I'm stuck in Estonia and I can't go back home. It really does. Like it upsets me deeply that I can't go home. That
to your land. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Like because of Ryanair, living in Estonia, I would just go home every 3 months. I just go like, all right, I'll fucking hop on the Monday Ryanair flight home and just see my parents. And even then, when the plane would fly into Kerry Airport, I would fucking cry. I would have tears in my eyes. Or if I took the train from Dublin, as soon as you cross that sign that says "Welcome to Kerry," I would just tear up instantly. It's God's country, Lewis. And I don't believe in God, but if there is a God, that's His country. You know?
Sounds pretty gay.
We have the best milk. It's gay. It's gay as fuck. But I'm proud of where I'm from, and I do think that pride of place and being proud of where you're from is, I mean, it's nationalism, right?
Sure, but doesn't have to be bad. Nationalism.
I'm a proud nationalist.
It's nice.
The nation of we call it the Kingdom of Kerry.
Kingdom of Kerry. Yeah. Is there a king though?
No. Well, no.
You all are. In a way.
We have a Black Knight though. The Black Knight of Kerry. Yeah.
Is he a black person?
He's not. He's an old man and he has no kids, so he's the last of his line. So.
Oh, okay, but he's not blackface. He's not
No,
just walking
no,
around
he's
like
just the
Justin
Black Knight.
Trudeau.
I don't
the
know.
whole
In Ireland, we had the Green Knight, the Black Knight, the Red Knight,
Okay.
and the Black Knight's the last of the knights that are left.
Oh, really?
We've gone off on a crazy
Some
tangent.
Indiana
on this
Jones
podcast.
shit. The Last Knights of the Templar or something.
It's okay to be proud of your language, Estonia. Keep doing it
Yeah,
every
it's
year.
fun,
Yeah,
'cause
Emakeelepäev.
I'm usually the godless pagan fucking right wing on this, and now you're presenting a nice.
I'm
in
not
between.
right wing though. I'm not right wing.
Yeah, I'm usually the one who's like English language the whole way, and you present some nice in between.
I travelled home to vote for gay marriage. I travelled home to vote yes for
home for that.
abortion. I fucking.
I feel it. I do feel a connection to Australia in that way. Like, how to say this without sounding stupid? I am not Aboriginal. I don't have
What?
any Aboriginal. I know, right? Who'd have thought? I don't have any of that heritage, but parts and while the white people came to Australia and did all sorts of bad things and repressed that culture, there is a certain still level of connection that I would say. I don't pretend to be one of the Indigenous people of Australia. I'm not trying to say that, but
Isn't it weird for you that because you're from you're Hungarian basically
Romanian.
or Romanian?
Close
sorry.
enough.
All the fuck.
Yeah,
they're
it's all the
it's
same
all the same.
jippos, right? Yeah.
Like I am Irish, Irish.
Right,
Since
that's it.
before time.
Yeah.
Whereas you're
Romanian a bit from that heritage,
Probably
then
some
going to
criminal
Australia,
was-
some criminal,
Yeah.
bit of something else. Then you go to Australia and you all mix a bit here, and then right. So
Is
there's
there no ancestral feelings of like I'm Australian, but not
for Romania. Have you been there? Fuck no. Jesus.
No?
What a, I'll stay. Look, of all the East, we all know. I mean, we
basically
all know
bored.
of the
You're-
Eastern
you're
Bloc
bored.
countries, Estonia was the best one. Right?
Yeah.
We all know that, right? Had the highest GDP, or if you could call it a GDP.
Estonia was the Manhattan of the Soviet Union.
Exactly. Incidentally,
Which is why, funnily enough, they're known as these stuck-up cunts and all the other.
those fucking Yugoslavians
Yeah.
are like fucking Estonians, right?
Yeah.
There's Lithuanians, fucking Estonians. Actually, I have a question. I'm doing research for another video, and there's a great fable.
Zez Retro on YouTube.
Zez Retro, follow it. I know. If you can search, we're over an hour deep into the podcast, so you can search for my retro video games channel on YouTube. But
So good.
it's not. But
It's terrible.
it's really terrible. But okay, so it's a great kind of, I don't want to say fable, legend of the days of the Soviet Union, that here in humble Estonia, not only were living standards probably better than the rest of the Soviet Union, we know that the GDP, or whatever you want to call it for this part, was higher than the rest, and so forth. And we know that it's the great thing is like, oh, Estonians were able to get Finnish television. And that was a big part of why Estonia was a bit different, because they were really the only part of the Soviet Union that had access to
The outside world.
terrestrial free-to-air broadcasts from
The West.
a Western
The West,
country,
yeah.
right? But as I dig through the technicals, like I mean down to the television standards, the standard, like the frequencies and the technical television standard that your Soviet Union television would have had compared to the TV standard they were broadcasting in Finland, I come to the conclusion it must have been in black and white. And I'm still waiting for, I haven't actually asked anyone, so this is not like it's
Probably
a big
was,
thing,
yeah.
but I'm still waiting for someone to confirm this. I got a call from my friend Marco. He's in TV. He'll know the answer. But that when Estonians were watching Finnish TV, it was actually in black and white. Now, probably would have been that most of the broadcast might have been in black and white. I mean, you're in the Soviet Union. You're fucking happy to have a TV. You know, like, where's my 4K OLED, right? You're like, I got a screen that's good enough. But looking, as I've looked at the technical standards of the Soviet Union television and the technical standards of Finnish television, it probably would have come across in black and white.
Oh, most definitely.
The
yeah.
the color signals would have been incompatible.
So do you
between
think
the two
that like
standards.
Estonians who were whatever, like hacking into the TV tower to see Finnish TV, did they go like, shit, people in the West, they live in black and white.
All black and white.
Because when I was a kid and I watched black and white television, or like I found my dad's old tapes or whatever. My dad had these like, you remember Porky's Revenge? Porky's movies. I saw tits. They were in black and white, and my stupid head said, "Oh, people in like the 40s and 50s, everything was black and white." I actually thought the world was in black and white,
and then suddenly it switched over.
and then it just became color. That's how stupid I was as a child. No wonder the Irish language is dying. Fucking idiots like me.
Side note, originally we had black and white television, let's say in the West, right? Black and white television was invented first. I think we can all appreciate that. When they worked out they could do color, they were like, oh shit, we've done enough research, we know how to do color now. They actually had a choice, and they were like, the reason we got some of these TV standards, and the reason that I know about this color thing between countries, is because what they did is when they went from black and white to color, they didn't like throw out the whole thing, because that would have made every black and white set not work. So basically what a color broadcast is, up until we got digital, was black and white with color put on the top. And so it would still be compatible with an old black and white set. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but this is the sort of shit that I research, and the sort of shit you can watch on Zez Retro. Yeah. This is what I talk about.
I do find that whole, like Estonia having, like being able to see Western television, like being the only country that could see West. The whole thing is just.
And Finland, as much as I've understood, basically turned up the knob.
Finnish TV is fucking shit.
Right, they turned up the
You
power.
got a fucking job on a Finnish
I know,
TV
anyone
show.
can get about. They just turned up the power of the transmitters. Just like, they're like, what? We're not doing nothing. Just turn it up a little bit to make sure those Estonians in Thailand can get a bit of that. But I still have some questions about how many people had TVs. Let's say 85 to 90, the last 5 to 6 years of the Soviet Union. How many people would have had TVs? Like,
it was probably like in Ireland in the 30s. My father would tell me stories of like one house in the village would have a TV.
Sure.
And they'd have everyone come over.
Hey,
to watch the television.
You just compared Ireland in the 30s to Estonia in the 1990s.
Yeah, pretty much. That, I mean, Estonia, well, not now, because Estonia is this fucking great country, but it kind of lags behind the world by like 20 years. Sure. I mean, it does. I mean, maybe just for me, because I drive around. I fucking love Retro FM. Oh,
Retro FM.
I love it because they play all these old 60s and 70s songs that Estonian bands translated into Estonian. And I'm just like, fucking, yeah. I'm in like a brand new RAV4 driving around, but I feel like I'm in a Zhiguli or or a Lada driving around.
It's a song that you know, and it's a famous Western song, but someone in the 90s, fucking whoever it was them, took it, changed the words, and then just did it themselves. And that's so normal. Like, I've had so many Estonian people tell me they're freaked out when they hear the original Western version,
because they think that an Estonian person wrote it.
Yeah. They think it'd be Eye of the Tiger or something, or some shit, and they're like, no, that's Estonian song. We're like, no.
Yeah. I heard back in December. I was driving around and I heard an Estonian version of Last Christmas, and it was just fantastic. Just some old bloke singing Last Christmas in Estonian. You know?
I think that those Estonian songs that, like the Western songs, first of all, they're sorry.
I'm just gonna grab another beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pee. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. We're gonna have a little pee break. I'll cut this out because I can start again about my thoughts about.
Well. It's my podcast now. All right. When I was a young lad, about 4 or 5, I was an altar boy. I got fucked by a priest. Now, butter me this. Butter me this. How could God let that happen to a young boy like me? Butter me this. Butter me that. I've got 5 pygmy boys in my house who butter my belly. Every morning, I wake up and I have my belly buttered by these boys. And I reward them. Every pygmy boy who does a good enough job buttering my belly. That's a shameful pour. Edit that out, Lewis. Every little boy that does a good job buttering my belly gets the privilege of eating my asshole. He's back. That's a shameful pour. Edit that pour out. Edit that pour. It's too much
mental
head.
Note. Too much head. Okay. Estonian songs that are taken from famous Western songs, right?
And they believe it. They're their song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it when they're like, what? This is not... But, okay. Now, they can have a whole bunch of these songs. You hear it on Retro FM, you're driving around. It is broadcast within the Republic of Estonia. Foreigners don't have to know too much. It's another one of these things that I feel like kind of hidden from foreigners, right?
Yeah.
But there's one example that they couldn't hide. Tanalpada, Welcome to Estonia. That is an old James Brown song. That is living in America. Yeah, living in America.
And didn't he get like €1 million to write that? I heard that like the entire Welcome to Estonia campaign or whatever cost like €1 million.
Huh. I didn't know that. Well, I don't know the connection. Do you know the connection between what came first? Did he make the song and then EAS just decided we're going to use that for the Welcome to Estonia campaign? Or
I think like the whole thing was just funded to Estonia needs a thing. Because the first time I ever heard that song, I was in this overpriced fucking pub in Tallinn Old Town called Beer House or Brew House or something. And they had these people dressed up. I gave you COVID.
yeah,
I gave Lewis COVID. Get fucked. They were dressed up in lederhosen because it's like a German-themed restaurant, and they were dancing around singing the "Welcome to Estonia" song. And I remember like thinking, like, yeah, no, that's living in America. And then I find out that it's like €1 million spent.
Because it's like the one
campaign.
The rest of the songs we can hear on the Retro FM and that's what we do in
Star
Estonia.
FM,
It's
Star
fine, but no one has to know, right? But that's part of the marketing campaign for the country. You can't
Someone just
hide
got
that.
an error message in the other room. I wonder if
someone's
the
like,
mic picked
cancel
it up.
these two fucks.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. And so as much as I've understood so far, you just pay royalties. Like it's like using a sample.
Do you think
if
they
you're a
did
DJ.
though? Do you think they did?
I don't know, but they must have eventually. I mean, the thing is, like, if you keep it in Estonia, all right, I'm willing to accept. You can get around that, but you start using that as the country's campaign. Welcome to Estonia. Someone's gonna notice. This song is designed to attract foreigners.
Yeah.
Eventually, a copyright foreigner is gonna be like, "Yo."
No, I think that they would have. Something had to come of it because the first job I ever had, I'm not proud of it, but it was a job. Lewis, did I give you COVID?
Maybe. No, you gave me the chips.
Ha! IRA chips choking the Englishman. But I worked for a company called IMRO, the Irish Media Rights Organization, and my job was not a nice job, Lewis. My job was to go around to pubs and write down set lists of cover bands. And then IMRO would go into the pub and say, right, you owe this person this money for playing the music.
Wow.
And I got paid like €70 a night just for grassing, just for fucking
Yeah. How did you feel at the time that you were just grassing?
I was in a band at the time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We played like Slayer and Megadeth covers and shit all the time. And my band never got caught for that, actually.
Yeah, weirdly. That was
but
just
no,
the cover.
the bands were never charged.
Okay,
Pubs had to pay a licensing fee. So my job was to mine the data so IMRO could go, all right, I don't know, Thin Lizzy gets this money, U2 gets this money. But I was a dirty fucking rat. A rat fink is what it was.
That whole music licensing thing it's a tricky business.
Have you ever come like if you have a comedian, let's say Sander wants to use like walk on music, do you ever have to?
I do have a relevant story about this.
Yeah.
So when it comes to music played, right now that doesn't seem to be covered. I think that it should be if you
I think 15 seconds is
if you want to look at the technicalities or something.
Yeah.
But what we did have was when Bill Bailey came to Estonia, we were going to set it up and we had all that. And then I got a letter from like the rights people, like the songwriters thingy, whatever, in Estonia, guild, whatever, in Estonia. And they're like, you owe us the royalties. And I was like,
as in Comedy Estonia owed the royalties.
yeah. I was like, go fuck yourself. That's my response. And that, as it was explained to me, because the way it works is, so Bill Bailey writes songs, and he is then part of the Songwriters Guild or whatever this guild is, right? And they protect his rights. So if someone goes and uses his songs, they have to pay a royalty. But if Bill Bailey performs his own songs, he has to pay a royalty.
But aren't most of his songs like covers of?
No, they're his songs. If they are his songs,
he has to pay royalties.
Here's how fucked up the system is and self-supporting the system is. He had to pay royalties for his own song, and I was to his management like, yo, this is bullshit. And they're like, yeah, this is how it works. That's the cost. You have to pay your own royalties just as anyone else.
So is he paying himself?
Well, he's not paying himself because who's getting a chunk of that, right? The royalty. It's all a scam.
Yeah.
Like they say like, oh, we're protecting your rights or something, but they want their cut as well. I mean, you sign up for this Songwriters Guild or whatever thing. And I know that's also been happening recently when bands have been trying to play their own songs on a live stream. So you're any band, big, small, and you're like, we haven't done a concert in a year, we'll do a live stream. These guilds are coming after, like they're trying to make legislation about, well, if it's up to this many viewers or this much income, then you don't have to pay royalties. But a band would have to pay royalties for performing their own songs on a paid live stream. That's how this works. And I remember, like, when Bill Bailey first came, like, I was much more argumentative, Lewis. Lewis was much more difficult to work with back then. And I was, like, I got this letter from this Estonian...
More difficult back then?
Yeah, I know, right? Estonian fucking songwriters thing. And I was like, no, I'm not paying you. And she's like, no, but you have to pay. Like, this is the rule.
The Estonian.
And I was like, nah, how about I just don't pay? And then I ignored her. And then like, no, you did not reply to my email. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? And I was ready to just be like, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to pay. I don't care what you do. And then eventually I talked to Bill Bailey's management and they were like, yeah, this is not completely unexpected. We didn't think it was going to happen, but okay. So then that became a normal cost of the show and his management accepted that. And I was like, well, all right. But I was not, happy that someone had written to me demanding money for nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
there are fucking, they'll find you. They'll find it.
But never again. That's the interesting part. Because I was like, why now? And never again have I heard from these people.
But other than Bill Bailey, there hasn't really been like, because he's very musically oriented.
He's musically oriented, so no one else has their own songs as such. So no, I don't present music, but I don't know how it works because I've not heard of this as much. Like Henrik, our dear project manager, Henrik is also quite the producer of live DJ events and promoting DJs and so forth. Like Henrik works with Comedy Estonia. He's our project manager. He runs our big tours, Suga's tour. He would run Ari's tour.
Never met him. He's the only one I haven't met. Yeah.
He's a lovely guy who runs Sanders tour. He's now that, but he, he cut his teeth doing live events for DJs and putting on nightclub events, and that's kind of how he learned his thing. And now that I've sort of brought him into the world of like trying to, we're dealing with bringing Jimmy Carr back to Estonia, and he's involved in that deal, and he sees he can't believe the amount of bullshit that goes on to bring a stand-up comedian here. Like a DJ is like, here's your fucking money, turn up, play your stupid songs, right? That's it.
Yeah.
But comedian, we've been talking for 2 months about the start time, whether it should be 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like that, So music is somehow different to stand up, definitely.
But if this organization came after you for that, then these Estonian people who they must get fucked.
I was a bit like, why this?
But I mean, to be fair, a lot of it is like 70s, 60s, and 70s. Back then, it was the Soviet Union, so
that didn't matter. But the 90s were also wild, as much as I understand, were a wild west as well. I mean, you're not talking about you don't have to worry about any of that shit. I would say, okay, I don't want to speak out of turn, but you don't have to worry about any of that shit for the first, let's say, 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? Not until 2000.
And now it's just
Okay, now it's different and all that, but I reckon, just my observation might have been, for the first 10 years, you'd be like, who gives a fuck? You could have been going, I am John Lennon, playing I am Estonian John Lennon.
But I mean, like, it's so bad
Johannes Lennonid.
I thought you were going to say Johannes Vaher. Twitch.tv/TMAce. Get him up to maybe five viewers.
Jesus.
But, because, like, what was it, like, I uploaded a video maybe 10 years ago in Sweden. There was like a dog outside drooling, and I was like, fuck it. And I was sitting outside a cocktail bar, and the music that was being played, like a month ago, I got a message from YouTube saying, yeah, we're removing your video because you're using copyrighted music. Like, I uploaded this video 10 fucking years ago. But the algorithms on YouTube are getting so good now that they just have everything locked down. Even if I whistle a theme or a melody, the algorithm will go, oh no, we're going to remove your video. That's crazy. Because there's all these. You saw that bald and bankrupt guy who came to Estonia.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Sure. So we're talking about the YouTuber bald and bankrupt. He was here for some time.
Yeah.
And got 1 million views or something. Yeah. I'm walking around Paldiski.
Yeah, he's part of this massive. There's certain allegations about them that I won't go into. I could go into, I guess, if you want to, because it's very interesting. But there's this core group of YouTubers who travel to weird countries and make these vlogs, right? They're all friends together and they all meet up. And watching their stuff, like, they go into a restaurant with their camera and they have to ask the restaurant, could you turn the music off? Because YouTube will say, no, you're not allowed.
Yeah, sure. I'm willing to bet it's not a conspiracy. I'm willing to bet they're just stupid or like they're not, like, what's the conspiracy that they're all in it together or something? And
what, this group of YouTubers? No. I'm not saying any conspiracy. I'm just saying that they have to, it's weird that they have to ask the restaurant to turn the music off because YouTube will go like, no.
Or what it'll do, if I understand, is it will demonetize them.
Yeah.
Your video can still be up.
Yeah, of course. But they won't make any money.
They won't make any money of it, which is the problem, right? Okay.
And they should make money, you know?
Sure. So, but they're going to take all the money from it.
What did you make of that bald and bankrupt guy who...
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? Oh. He's an interesting character.
So these YouTubers that come to Estonia and make videos, and here we are the whole time, Tim, apparently sitting on a gold mine. Bold and Bankrupt would come here, 800,000 views, but we sit on our fat asses.
We're not interesting people.
You know? He is, yeah. I was just like, I can't talk that much.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that much.
Well, look I've been in contact with him months ago. I offered to like drive him to, because there's a bunch of interesting Soviet shit that I could show him here, and he was like, "Yeah, cool, man. Maybe in the summer." So I might be fucking myself over. I don't give a shit about the guy. Whatever. He's not going to hear this anyway. But he's part of this group of like prolific pickup artist people who used to post in a forum called Roosh V.
Let's go here. I know what you're talking about. Let's go.
Yeah, because you were probably on that forum, you fucking sex tourist, you cretin. You fucking were, weren't you?
I have a more credible reason for knowing this, but I will explain. But continue with your part of the story.
Anyway,
kind sir.
So Bold and Bankrupt used to go by the name of Vorkut, or he changed his name to the Fantasist at some point. And he used to give advice to Western people to come and have sex with local women. Like he would tell you where to go, how to behave. He would talk about his experiences and stuff like that. And there's this weird community on Reddit who are dedicated to try and like out him. And I'm like, whatever.
So they want to show that he was originally this pickup artist, a sleazy guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're trying to out him because like he's a good guy. He's a genuinely like he. Well, maybe not. He's a deadbeat dad or whatever. This is fucked. But anyway, but he makes good content on YouTube, and that's all I care about. He makes good videos on YouTube that are entertaining, and they're just good stuff. But there's this community on Reddit who are like trying to take this guy down.
That he used to be part of the pickup community and used to write.
Still is. I mean,
so before YouTube blogging was a thing, before this travel blogging was a thing, you know, he would instead his articles be more focused around how you may want to.
Well, not articles, just his posts on a forum.
Posts, right? Okay.
And I would argue that there's nothing wrong with what he was doing, like going to another country to be a sleazy pickup artist guy. Whatever. Who fucking cares?
Like, first of all, that shit.
He's not raping women. Like
that shit. I'm gonna put myself out here. That shit. Like, it's almost like we're past that. And I don't want to mean like, oh, I know that from experience, but
you do though. Come on, Lewis. You backpacked around enough weird countries.
Right, but we're past the idea that you can be some interesting foreigner and come to a country and just be interesting because you're a foreigner. We're like long past that idea that you can go to a pub and be like, hey, I'm Tim from Ireland, and she's like, oh, you're a foreigner. Oh,
yeah, but see, I'm so innocent. I'm so fucking innocent that like this shit, this like sex tourism, pickup artist shit, like it never occurred to me. Like, I'm just a nice guy. I just want to make people laugh. That's it. And then I read about these guys who, because there's this other guy, this melon-headed Irish guy who lives in Belarus, who makes videos as well, just like the Bold and Bankrupt guy. And he's a fucking creep. That fella. He's a fucking.
Maybe Belarus is still a place. I don't know. I mean, that's the last dictatorship. Maybe
but
he
went there.
Get some of that communist punani.
He went there to prey on women.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not going to say his name because he might sue me. But I just found this like group of pickup artist people, and I just thought like, it's not a big deal. You know, why are you trying to take these people down? It just doesn't matter. I mean, Lewis was one of them, so you know.
No, sure, of course, 100%. I think that whole culture, first of all, of pickup artists,
it's disgusting. It's slimy, but. What? Who cares?
Right. So there was a whole culture around pickup artists, and then there's the whole culture of dudes who say that they're the pickup artists and they're traveling to different countries. So the whole pickup artist thing, first of all, you go back to the book. And what's that stupid American guy's name who wrote all the books about being a pickup artist? Now I'm completely forgetting everything.
The guy with the like corporate smile. I know the guy you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, so there was some American books about how to be a pickup artist, and it was this idea that there was a technique, and you know, there's a formula, and you could hack the technique, and you could get women attracted to you. And this dude wrote a whole bunch of books about it, and he's since written books going, "This is all bullshit. You know, this is a terrible way to live your life." And then, so then there's these foreign dudes. So yeah, this Roosh V. So whoever it was back in the day, I want to say 2000s, 2005, something like that. This person going under this pseudonym Roosh V produced a whole number of self-published books, which these days would be nothing more than a blog article. But you know, it was back when, hey, we can all publish a book. I'll do it myself. And one of them was called Bang Estonia. And there was Bang.
Really?
Yeah, there's like Bang Latvia,
shit.
Bang. That was his
I did not know it. I did not know.
So there is like, if you search Bang Estonia, there is a Bang Estonia book written by Roosh V. Now, the reason that I know all of this,
because you wrote them,
right? Because I'm Roosh V. We're coming out of the metaphorical closet. No, because back in the day, I was writing for Cosmopolitan magazine in Estonia, and shout out to Carl who translated everything for Lewis. He was doing that. He was not the only translator at the time, but he was one of them. It was hard to find the correct translator. That I was referencing that because that seemed to be more well known then, and I was able to go like, no, I'm a nice guy. I'm not like Roosh V. That was basically the crux of all of my articles on this. So that's how I knew that such a thing. I was able to reference that, and amongst that demographic, if you were reading Cosmopolitan back 5 to 8 years ago, you know, that was sort of like maybe you'd heard about that, or something like that. So, so he would publish these quote unquote books. It's just an ebook that would be somewhere between a travel guide mixed with a pickup artist, trying to pretend like the pickup artist techniques were different in each country. You go to this bar, go to that place, say that thing. It's like, okay.
But the core of it is just pure objectification of women, though.
Yes.
Which is the slimy, just
right, of the pickup artist that you see that you do this thing, she want you, you're working on, and women should be
informed about this stuff because men are fucking scumbags.
It was like this whole,
it's just slime,
because it kind of gives hope to guys that don't. What it's doing is pickup artist shit. I think is. Not every guy has to be sleazy to want to think about reading about a pickup artist,
but it's like the standardization of the Estonian language, Lewis. It's the guys who are like standardizing it who are the slimy cunts, you know?
I guess.
And they're all the guys who buy those books and want to go to Bang Estonia, they're almost victims in a way because it's a grift. It's just ultimately it's a grift.
It is a grift, but it was a grift, I want to even say, in a different time. Again, if we're going back, when was I writing for Cosmo? Like 5 years ago, if not more?
I don't know.
Like, whenever it was. Like, that was we didn't have the YouTube bloggers. We didn't have the same knowledge or there wasn't just a sort of this wave of travel bloggers telling us everything and writing everything. It was still kind of a different, little bit untapped kind of kind of thing. So it wasn't quite like today where everything's open and everything's. So what do I think? Pickup artists, I think what that whole text does is it gives guys hope. And it gives guys hope because what it's doing is giving them a formula and saying you do this. And yes, some of it can be very manipulative, but some of it can also appeal to men. I'm not saying it's good that it does, but it does. It doesn't appeal to man just because you're a sleazy son of a bitch. I think it can also appeal because it's like, look, I'm a guy. I don't know how to deal with women. I see these attractive women. They're very intimidating to me, as is natural. I don't want to say it's some like new age kind of simp men being nothing like that. Just like throughout, an attractive woman is intimidating to a man, an average man. Okay, how do I deal? What do I do? Men want formulas. We want to know the straight up things I need to do. We're not good with the emotions. We're not good with the things that are in between the lines. And I think the appeal of pickup artists was like, here is a formula.
Yeah.
Here are the steps. If you're not Artie Matti, you've got the dick, you've got the abs, you've got the workout. And if you haven't got all of that.
He's got my PlayStation 4.
I know, right? He's got everything. He's got it all. I think that's what that does. Now, I'm not justifying pickup artist stuff. Right? I'm not saying that that's a good thing. But I don't think you necessarily had to be a sleazy guy to be into it. I mean, I read the books, right? What's that fucking American?
What isn't the end goal? Like, the whole pickup artist thing, isn't the end goal sex?
It is, and that's kind of the point that he writes a whole bunch of books that eventually gets to the other side, and then he's like, oh, this got me.
That's what I find disgusting. That the end goal is like sex.
Really? That's disgusting.
Yeah, because I like. Yeah. because men have dirty fucking penises, you know. And I feel bad for women. I just feel so bad for them because.
I mean, they
This
want
is
it.
going to sound horrible.
They want it too. I'm not saying
Yeah,
like
no,
not
no,
forced, but like
of
they
course,
women have
it's
sexual.
it's a different time. Right, it's a different dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Silla Kadri should be here to talk to us about this. We're two white guys talking about fucking breaking down.
Like how a black guy apparently would be a better influence in this
you get
conversation.
Caleb's friend Amir, who came to my house and criticized my cooking.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yeah, Caleb brought.
And if there's one thing that we know, you do not come to Tim's house and criticize his cooking.
he was
Margaret's
right.
torts, do you?
But see, he was right though, which hurt. He came to my. Just a side note, Caleb brought this African American gentleman to my house. I think he's Puerto Rican, and he's a cook. You see, and I was making J. Kenji Lopez Alt's garlic bread recipe. And I made this like olive oil reduction with chili flakes and loads of garlic and just butter and beautiful. He came in and he put his pinky in it. He said, "Needs salt," and it just fucking knife in my heart. And I tasted it and I was like, "Fuck, he's right."
Salt.
Why couldn't I made a good first impression on this black man?
You were just a typical Estonian who wanted to impress a foreigner.
I want to impress everyone. I just want everyone to be happy. You see, that's why the whole pickup artist thing. When I say I feel bad for women, it's because many women, not all. I'm not generalizing, but many of them, they are easy to manipulate.
Okay, as all humans might be.
Yeah.
But okay.
If you follow, maybe if you follow this pickup artist,
and if you say that, put your fucking Facebook and Twitter down. You're being manipulated by every platform.
of
I'm
course.
not manipulated. Yeah, you are.
Of course,
So
but
anyway.
and at the end of the day, women want dick too, right? They want to be fucking dicked down.
Yes.
And that's fine. But I think that women need to be informed about this slimy pickup artist. They need to be aware that, you know, maybe the guy that they like and they're like, oh, well, maybe this could go somewhere. Nah, he's just a piece of shit who just wants to fuck you, and that's it. That's all. And I was reading through that Roosh V forum thing, and it's just slimy. There's a guy, his name was Louis J. Zez. And he was just like, yeah, man, Estonian women are fucking easy. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm kidding. Be informed, women. If you see a foreign man from Australia,
Be careful.
just be careful. Don't fall in love with him. He wants one thing, and he will get it.
Right. Comedy jokes. That's all I want.
But my whole point about this bald and bankrupt and the pickup artist thing is that just whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It's not something. It's not something that deserves a Reddit community to try and take it down.
They want to take him out because he's someone they want to find reasons.
But also,
why
women
he's
should be
bad.
informed that this shit is going down.
Sure.
That, you know,
I mean, you can't cancel. I mean, the whole concept of cancel.
can't cancel me anyway. That's
You can't cancel anyone in Estonia. Like, no one's getting cancelled. Igor Mang still giving horoscopes. Okay.
Oh, why would you want to cancel him though? He's a legend, Igor Mang.
Right, the dude from the Emakeelepäev, will he get kicked out or not? We're gonna see.
Well, he's a
because
foreigner,
that's-
though, so.
He's a foreigner, so he's easy to kick out. He's been here for a long time though, so very long
Trust
time.
me, Lewis. Cancel culture will come to Estonia eventually, for sure.
I mean, there's so much. If cancel culture was a thing, Mart Sander wouldn't still be on television. The dude's a sleazy fuck.
Is he?
Oh,
He posts on some Facebook group I'm in, the musician group.
dude.
He's like, hey, this cool guitar. I'm like, hey, this is a cool guitar.
Oh no, I have personal experience that he's like that, and it's
Did
like
he put his
it's just
finger
like
in your bum hole?
yeah, I know, and it was
Did
kind
he?
of fun for a moment, and then it was done.
Yeah.
That dude's sleazy.
I've heard stories as well about him.
There's a lot of examples of sort of like it just flies under the radar, and yeah.
Well, because I suppose
so-
Estonia is still a fairly conservative country. You know, it's people kind of don't, you know, people keep to themselves, and if there's like a village, like the concept of the village is still a powerful thing in Estonia. Like there'd be like the village pedophile who touches kids, and they're like, no,
It's okay. He touches a few kids. It's all right.
And the village can be a positive thing as well, you know. House burns down, the village rallies around the people. Like there was a house fire. There's a little village outside Paida called Tarbia, and there was a bad house fire, and the village just rallied around this family and took care of him. So.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you do something? Did you contribute? No.
Me?
No.
Just went to sleep. I've had COVID for the last 2 weeks. That's all I've been doing, sleeping.
Whew. All right. I guess we've been going on this episode for a while. I'm sorry this is a long one, but you know we're getting.
He's not sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm trying to do the long ones,
for the
but
5 people still watching.
people do like the small ones though. They like the short ones. They're like an hour. I kind of get it. I was a hardcore like, no, I'll do my podcast the way I feel like. You just start and stop, and I eventually understood.
Shit might have derailed a bit there with the pickup artist talk. People, maybe we're going to get cancelled now, Lois.
Maybe.
How does it feel to have a name that's also a woman's name?
Lois.
Lois.
It's Louise.
Louise.
Louise with an E.
Yeah, but Lewis, like in Family Guy.
It's a different name. No, Louise is with an E. Like how?
Yeah, but in Family Guy, Peter's wife is Lois.
Lois. Lois.
Missing.
Yeah, she's missing a U. A vowel makes all the difference.
If you grew up in Ireland, you would have got the shit kicked out of you for having a name like Lewis.
Yeah, I got the shit kicked out of me when I was.
Did you?
living in
Were you
Australia.
bullied? Were you bullied as a child? Were you?
Yeah. Why do you think I came to this country?
That was the
had to
genesis.
Run away
you were
from
getting,
everything.
You were getting creamed in
Yeah,
school. You went, I'm going to go to Estonia.
I want to go. I've heard there's the Soviet Union. I heard it's going to be cool anytime soon.
Yeah.
What's that, 1990? So I'm, like 10, 11, and I was like getting the shit kicked out of me. Like, no, I need to go to a place where they don't know that I'm a fag.
I have a question for you, Lewis. Let's get deep with this shit now. How long more can you live out in Lagri? You don't belong. You don't belong in Lagri.
The better question
you don't belong there.
is, how long more can I live in Estonia? It's probably the more accurate question.
I was actually talking to James about this yesterday. Like, I used to think that I belonged here. And I when I came here, I was like, yeah, fucking Estonia, yeah. But I don't feel like I belong here anymore.
Do you feel? I feel like that the difficulty is, for the last year, we have been in a very odd circumstance that's not normal.
Yeah.
And the usual pressure releases, the usual valves that you'd be able to open, go back to Ireland, as you've told us, the Ryanair on the Monday morning, and you'd be seeing mum in a few hours.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. And I think that is changing the perception. Like, I want the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I want to go.
COVID has held up a giant mirror. It's held up a mirror and we're like, oh, fuck.
But does it have to be? Like, do you want to, you say that it holds up a mirror, which I
just love saying
with that
phrase.
implication is that this is terrible and this is not good, or this is somehow negative, and we didn't see that before. I don't think that's how life is. We're not living in the Middle Ages where we're living in some place forever and I'm a blacksmith because my father was a blacksmith. You could travel before.
Yeah.
You can go for a weekend to Spain, you do your little travel. We could even go to Latvia, such exotic places. You could go to Ireland.
You fucking hate Latvia. I fucking adore it.
Yeah, I could
love
occasionally
Latvia.
go to Australia. I could go to Japan. I could do the things I want to do. There's none of those options for the last 12 months. And while I feel like, oh my God, this life, it's suffocating at times right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, like, no, it's not like just Estonia. It's the world right now. There's no choice. Like, maybe it's better if you're in a big country. My parents can travel around Australia. But what do we got? We're going to Padenal. Congratulations. Okay.
You enjoyed your time in Padenal, though.
It was very nice, but
You're still in Estonia.
it's not.
Just here.
I mean, it was lovely to go to Padenal for the weekend, eat a Stefani's pizza. But if you want to, Tim Reedy, I mean, you have told me that you have not had a Stefani's pizza.
Never.
Which is why you don't have a residency permit, I believe. But
is that one of the
that's
requirements?
the reason. That's the requirement.
I was wondering.
You haven't showed you Stefani's card. When you go there, they give you the card. They're like, you got to have the frequent customers card.
I honestly, Lewis, I think if I tried Stefani's pizza, I'd be underwhelmed. Because I live 2 streets away from Kaya Pizza Cook, so like I got one of the best pizzas in Europe. down the street.
This sounds like an episode, right? But here's the thing. If we can't just, like right now, if you want to eat a Stefani's pizza, you've got to drive to Paddington and sit in your car and eat it, right? You can't just drive to Stefani's and have a Stefani's pizza. Oh, we're here in Stefani's.
Then how the fuck is Purza open? How Purza tap room was open?
You can't have it. Yeah, I don't understand how that's open. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
So-
maybe we shouldn't have said that. Fuck.
We're ratting them out. So a lot of the problems that you might have as a foreigner, let's say, I really do think they're amplified because of the current situation. And look, I'm me. I'm like, I'm done with the cold. I'm done with this country. I'm done with all this. But then I sit down and I think about it and I'm like, am I really done? Or is it that I just haven't been able to travel at all? I just haven't been, and if I think like, oh, I'd be happier in some other place. Now, first of all, yes, sunshine would make me happier. I can't avoid that, right? But if I think like, oh, I'd be happier in that place or this place, it's like because there's more people and there's more stuff going on. And if we don't have stuff going on in Estonia because of COVID, that's why I feel it. So I feel like it's hard to just say like, oh, this is shit, or this isn't what I want, or this isn't the place for me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we need to get back to normal. Then tell me it's not the right place.
Yeah. COVID has I've like unevolved.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Go on.
Unevolved. All right. Unevolved?
I'll fucking open one with you. But I've like unevolved a little bit during the COVID period because like before I came here, I lived in darkness, Lewis. I lived in pure, like I would like literally in my apartment in Ireland. Another terrible pour. Fucking hell, Lewis. My father's
He's rolling over.
beat the shit out of me when I get home.
Nothing to do with the poor, but yeah.
Like I would just black out my windows. And when I came here, like I was just living a normal life. But in the last, like, especially the last 2 weeks, because I was sick, just had the curtains closed, and I slept so much that my ribs, like, came in like I've been wearing a corset, like a hua. Like my ribs have like come in. I lost 19 kg in a week and a half, and I've just been fucking like this, closed curtains, just sleeping. You know?
Why? Because of the illness, or why are you?
Partially because of the illness, and also just because, like, Tauri thinks I'm depressed. I don't think so. I'm one of these people who I think I'm immune from depression, to be honest. I don't know. Like I've just been living a fucking shut-in hermit life, you know.
I don't think it's like,
because
you're like, I'm not depressed, right?
I don't think I'm capable of getting depressed.
And I think it's a lot around what does depression mean and what is it. Like, I think I'm depressed, but then you have to ask yourself, what does depression mean, right? Does it have these terrible consequences, these terrible, oh, I'm depressed, I experience depression, this is a medical thing and all of this, or is it just a, kind of, what does it mean? Or it means that I don't have energy right now, I don't have enthusiasm, I don't want to do any of this.
I love closing the curtains and sleeping all day. I love it. I thrive in it. Sure. You know, I was born in the darkness. You know, I love it. And like I spend my day just refreshing the same 3 websites over and over again, or being on, like, I do nothing. And I earn a lot of money doing nothing, and I love it. But apparently it's a negative thing, you know, like, oh, you gotta open the curtains and get sunlight and stuff like that.
But if you're feeling differently,
this is only in the last like maybe 3 months I've been doing
now until before, right? Like that you can't travel, you can't just go for a little holiday somewhere. We couldn't go to Cyprus on our trip.
I think part of it, Lewis, is I just can't look out my window.
You gotta look down at the guy, the heroin addict in the middle of the street with the car and the hugging of the woman.
That's usually nighttime, because I can't, like, a flat horizon is just, it just makes me want to kill myself. A flat horizon.
I do miss mountains.
Yes, mountains is it's a tough one because I talked to my friend Gary about this in Ireland. Like we grew up for the first maybe 21 years of our life. We grew up, and there was always a mountain on the horizon. Always, it was always there. And then you come here, and it's just, I can see fucking St. Olaf's Church and the TV tower. I shouldn't be able to see the TV tower. There should be a fucking mountain between me and the TV tower.
And I hear you, but again, is it the problem of this country, or is it the problem that we're sitting here due to lockdowns and travel restrictions that we can't go anywhere? Because usually, okay, I agree, this country, flat as a fucking pancake, all right? But usually, you know, okay, fine. We don't have to always live in the exciting place. You can travel a little bit, go somewhere for a while, get out. We don't even have
It's
that.
been easier since I moved to Tallinn, I will say that.
No, I mean, living in Paide, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, like living in Tallinn, like I said, Baltiam Turg right over there. It's like stepping into a portal, you know? I feel like, I don't know if you remember Godfather Part 2, when Michael Corleone went to Italy. No?
I've never seen him.
Oh,
I wish I hadn't said that.
Lewis!
Now he's going to do this and get like, you didn't see that movie.
You're coming to my apartment on the weekend and we're watching The Godfather.
All right, sure.
I swear to God, let's do it. But anyway, in Godfather Part 2, Michael Corleone, he goes to Italy, and there's this local mob boss, right? He wears a white suit, got a mustache, and he's the fucking guy. When I walk through Baltiam Turg, I feel like that guy, you know? I can just pick up an apple and eat it, and they'll give it to me for free because, hey, it's Tim. Hey, Tim is here. I talk to the South African pie guy. I buy pies. I give them to James. I never eat the pies. Sorry. The pies are fantastic, but I don't eat during the day. I go to the Italian deli. I order some prosciutto cotto, some prosciutto di Parma. I get a bottle of fucking olive oil that they made themselves. You know, I might go to Viljandi Burger and get a nice fucking smash burger, fresh vegetables. Go to Umami, get some seasoning, get some fucking gochujang seasoning to take home. And it's just this. It's a portal. You're stepping into a portal that just for one fucking moment, if you squint, you're like, I am in the world now, and not.
And
just
you
in
could
Estonia.
be in the world if it just wasn't for this, right? Like, you could get your hint. You could just go for a trip to Spain and you go through the
exactly. I'm trying to deal with this. And
Right. We're all trying to do it. My conjecture here, my hypothesis here is it's not this small country. It's the current situation that I agree. Yes, small country, difficult, isolated.
It's got nothing to do with Estonia.
All of that.
I'm not being anti-Estonia.
Because I feel it as well. I'm like, fuck this place. I want to be in the big city. I want to have adventure. I want to have some excitement again, something different. I want to have a big place.
I think
and
you
then
need,
I think
you
like
need a
where.
hug, Lewis. I think you need a big hug.
Oh, I do need a hug.
You need a hug from
many.
Me, from Tim. You need a Timmy hug.
I need a Roosh V hug.
What?
That I want those things, but you're like, where else could I be and get those right now? Not many places, right? Like, it's not like, oh, if I was somewhere else, what is in New York City? Maybe, I guess, but that's the place. So I find this, for me, this is even extending to like goal setting, or what do I want to do with myself next, or so. I'm no longer the CEO of Comedy Estonia. I like this thing very much. This means that I want to have more time for myself to do my own projects and do my own things, and as well as still guiding Comedy Estonia. Can't do much else. Like, it's like, what's your next thing? Like, I've had a mission for 10 years, and it's been very strong, which is get Comedy Estonia somewhere.
Be a pickup artist in Estonia.
Be a pickup artist.
Estonia.
I want to bang every blonde chick 100%. And then, you know, so for 10 years, that's been my mission, right? And now that mission it's different. Comedy Estonia is by no means out of the woods, by no means 100% established, can never go away. There's still lots of hard work. There's still a lot of thought. But that initial...
You got good people.
Right, we got good people, good comedians, good admin.
Like Hellerine is fantastic.
Tremendous.
She's so great.
The initial hustle is over.
Yeah.
Right, the hustle of back in the day, we don't know what's going on. fucking, we're trying this, we're trying that.
You're
Who knows if it's
established
going
now.
to
You're
work?
established.
We're established. I'm not trying to say we're arrogant. I'm not trying to say we're here forever. We're the kings or whatever.
You
Just
are the
that
king, though.
things get to
You're
a
the king,
certain.
Lewis.
I'm the god. I prefer Godfather, but please. And that's a
Can't call yourself that
It's
until
a
you watch the movies. but
different phase,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think I necessarily like. Oh, I guess I kind of do. Like miss the hustle, miss the unknown. As exhausting as it was, like now it's like running a business, and that's very good. That's what you should get to, right? I want Marilee to be the CEO because she's very efficient at running a business, and I could run a business, but geez, it really, took it out of me in the end. Cool. I built this thing up. I hustled and fucking did whatever I had to do, sucked whatever dick I had to suck to build this up. And now it's somewhere, and now I would like to give that to somebody else. So now you run it efficiently like a business. You have
but you need the
right.
hustle.
I need the hustle, exactly.
You're not going to
right?
get the hustle in Lagra. You're just sitting around going.
Yeah, but where in Estonia are you going to get the hustle right now? This is my next point. Like the hustle won't come back until society returns. So it's difficult to choose the next mission. Because if you've finished one big thing, you don't often just be like, now I know the next thing I want to do. No, it usually happens that you're like, geez, I might be lost for a little while. As I explore, travel, talk, think, try new things, it's very hard to try new things. Like I feel like if I want to try a new thing in life right now, it's very academic exercise. I have to think in my head, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to be a travel blogger. I'm going to be a writer. Well, okay, it's all a bit academic. The best way to do things, I think, is to try a bit of it and have a go and see how it goes and keep trying it and keep going. Ooh. Yes, hello. It's Roger, Andre. He come
Hello,
to
boy.
studio. Oh, and Henrik. Here's Henrik. Okay. We got some people. Come in. It's okay. Okay.
No, lads.
You didn't have an office key?
Come in and say hello for fuck's sake.
We've got Roger.
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Yo,
no
man.
see. Are we over schedule? Are we? No.
I don't think so. No probs.
Good luck.
Prince of Euronics was Roger Andre.
What time is it? Oh, shit.
That it's like, if you want to, this is for anyone right now who's feeling trapped and feeling like they're constrained and the societies are working for them. Like, typically you go out and try some stuff, travel a little bit, just travel even, just fucking get some fresh air and travel and meet some foreign people and just, it helps you come up with your idea. But now you can't do nothing. You're sitting at home with the curtains closed.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really hard to think of the next thing you want to do.
But Lewis, can I just cut you off?
Yeah.
And say that, like, once this pandemic is over,
Yeah.
whatever, the vaccine, we're all vaccinated, there's no more COVID. I still think you're going to be unhappy and you need to get the fuck out of the country. I think you're looking at COVID as like, oh yeah, COVID. Yeah,
For a certain amount of time. Now it becomes like, no, I swear to God, as soon as the borders open up, I'm in Japan for a month.
I'm going to America with Caleb.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Now that's, to me, in my mind, that's fine. Like I would say even up to the mandatory 3 months that you can spend on a tourist visa, right? As soon as things open up, I will be in Japan for anywhere between 1 and 3 months. Don't tell my girlfriend. Anywhere between 1 or 3 months, right? But that doesn't mean I want to leave Estonia.
Can I come with you?
Come with me. We're gonna have a great time.
We can fly there and
We'll fly there. I'll take you around. I'll show you everything. I'll show you what I do.
I
I'll
just
take you
want
to
to
the
be
stores.
a fat Westerner in Japan and go,
Oh, look at door.
What, boys? Line up.
Oh, Godzilla. That to me, that's fine. Oh, I want to go somewhere for 3 months. Cool. That doesn't mean I don't like my home or my life. I might actually just like to do something different.
Do you consider
for a while.
Estonia home then? Eh?
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep a perspective and say that even though, fuck yeah, I want to travel. Who doesn't want to travel right now? Who doesn't want to be in South America going through Machu Picchu or some bullshit, right? Who wouldn't want to be somewhere
Being
else?
a pickup artist in
Or
Thailand.
whatever. Bang fucking Machu Picchu. I don't know, whatever it is, right?
Bang Machu
Yeah.
Picchu, yeah.
I don't think that has to take away from the fact that, you know, I could still want to live here, but geez, I might want to travel maybe for quite a while after this opens up again.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm just trying to, like, the way I've been dealing with this whole COVID thing, which is not good. It's probably why I got sick. Is I've just been like giving stuff to people.
Like COVID?
If you walked into Caleb, I gave you COVID today. If you walk into Caleb's garage right now, you're gonna see at least maybe 200 empty beer cans, all of which I gave to him. I've just been like I've just been trying to give shit to people because that's the, like, in my mind, I have and other people have not. And so I've just been like just fucking giving shit to people.
It helps you feel better, or like to share it around?
The teleprompter that you asked me to order for you, I saw the TransferWise thing saying Louis J. Zezerin gave fucking...
No problems. Henrik, our project manager, came back into the room. He did, and now he's got to say something.
Like I just felt bad taking your money, even though you asked. No, but I was just like, nah. I should have just let him fucking.
But on that same, okay, so now we're talking about, I guess, almost income.
I'm coming to the end of my life. This is basically what I'm getting to. Right?
I felt bad when I asked you for that 180 for the studio. No, but
I owed you the money. So.
Yeah, but I felt bad. You hadn't been in the studio for 6 months or something, and I felt bad asking you.
Right. There was an agreement that I paid.
I felt bad by that same regard. I'm just trying to say, by that same regard, I feel it as well. I felt bad asking you for that 180. I'm like, why should I care about that? I shouldn't care about that.
But I would have just given you 180 euro, even if I didn't owe you 180. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I'm always coming to the end of my life. Right, I'm gonna die. I swear to God,
Tim,
I'm gonna die.
You're going to die, Tim.
Fucking Dan. When Dan was in my apartment on Friday, he kept taking pictures and videos of me because he wanted memories. Because
that's it. Daniel Weinberg is convinced Tim's gonna die like next week.
Everyone is,
and so
I'm gonna
he just wants to take photos.
Single one of you. I ain't fucking going nowhere, boys. Estonia, you're stuck with me. But you know, I'm always like, maybe it's the way my mother raised me. Like, if you ask me for nothing, I'll give you everything. I will give you the shirt off my back. But as soon as you ask me for something that I don't owe you, then out you fucking go. I won't give you shit. So, you know, during the pandemic, I have probably spent close to 25 grand just giving stuff to people.
And look, and I appreciate that you've always come over with food, and there's always been stuff there or whatever. You know.
By the way, that Cyprus trip that got cancelled, I just didn't get any money from Ryanair.
Really? Those fucks. Tim and I were going to go to Cyprus. We had the Ryanair's booked
because I used travel credit.
Okay.
And they didn't refund my travel credit. So I mean, I could get the money if I like emailed them and said like, I'm going to go to the European whatever, the EU whatever, but they were like, no,
we can get it back. And Ari Matti is in Tenerife right now. So yeah, he got there. Everything's fine apparently.
We should probably end this podcast before I say something that I regret, because I'm getting into the loosey-goosey territory.
No, loosey-goosey is great. I feel if anyone's still listening, they're like right in. Like this is clearly we've gone through the clickbait is I'm going to make the title Emakeelepäev, right? Like that will be the clickbait to get you into the episode.
Is a beautiful thing, by the way.
We're going to talk about the Estonian bit, but like if you're still in an hour and a half in, then you're like, it's Tim and Lewis getting drunk talking about that. So okay, so this thing to help, it's a beautiful quality of yours that you want to help and you want to share.
It's not a quality. It's just I don't deserve the life I have. I do not deserve the life I have. So I have to give it. I have to pass it on.
I mean, I would call it a quality, but all right, look, I would call it a quality that you do want to share. I've certainly been the recipient of many generous Tim donations. Half of this fucking studio that Comedy Estonia enjoys is, you know, a generous donation.
What's the story? Did you order more of these?
I do. So the back of my car, I have, so we have more of these foam squares, and I ordered a whole bunch from AliExpress. So I ordered 4 lots of 3. So like 12 packages. And they get them and they like these little Chinese
Jack
fucks.
Ma himself.
Jack Ma is there with his weird fucking head. So I have these packages that are probably like so big by so thick, taped up. It looks like drugs. Like it looks like an oversized kilo of coke. And I have them all over the back seat of my car right now. Like if the cop looks in the back, it looks like I've got 15 kilos of coke.
Is it the same like pointy dominatrix thingy as this?
I haven't opened any of them yet.
I don't know.
They're all still, because I think what they do is they like super compress them down. You've got to open the package and then let them expand for like 3 days. Yeah. Some people do it with water, which makes it faster, but if you just let them go,
I had to do that with my IKEA rug. I had to just let it expand.
Just let it expand. Yeah. So my car is full of packages, full of studio foam that look like drugs. And I was going to plan to take a Friday night or a Saturday and just drink beer here in the studio and just
get high off the fucking
kind of, yeah. Take some bongs, gets high off the glue, drink another beer, and then just cover this wall with it's coming in a week or 2.
Do you have enough to cover the like everything?
Yeah, I think I did the calculations and enough to do, like what I wanted was like, if you're watching this right now, the shot that you're getting, like this should all be covered.
Yeah.
So pretty much anything from here forward, I think I've got enough to do all of this. That was the idea.
I have some spare, but I'm going to give it to Johannes because I don't know what the fuck he wants to do with them, but he wants a professional background for his Twitch stream, I suppose.
Of course.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/Tmaze. Shout out. T-Man. Or Roadman.
Oh, yes. Hey. Or just T-Man. Just tea drinking man.
But I do want to end this podcast with a story, though.
Oh, please do. Okay.
And it's not really a story. It's a situation, an ongoing situation. So, just to like remark on looking out my window and not being able to see mountains, right? My catharsis for the cure for my existential crisis that I'm in Estonia and I'm losing my mind is 4 times a year at least I would go to Scotland, right? I would fly into Edinburgh or London, rent a car, and drive into the Highlands. And I would just spend a week in the Highlands, just mountains, just being in mountains. I'm a fat fucker, but I hike a lot. I've got massive calf muscles. I would hike around the Highlands, and I would stay in bothies and various places, and just that's my thing. That's my decompression thing that I had every year. Now I haven't had that in a very long time. And there's a little town, it's not even a town, it's a train station in the Highlands called Dalmally, right? Now this train station, like no one stops there. No one gets on, no one gets off. It's just this station because British Rail have to maintain the station. It's owned by a Scottish guy who I've never seen him wear pants. Just kilt constantly. Proper constant kilt. And his Irish wife, who's from Galway in Ireland. And they have this dog called Angus. He's a little, I think he's either he might be a pug Staffordshire Terrier mix. Anyway, he's this legend of a dog who he goes on the trains. Like he just goes to Glasgow. Like Angus, he has his favorite rock, right? He has this rock that he loves. He picks up the rock and he just goes to Glasgow. Like 3 hours on the train, and the train staff know, oh, Angus is on the train again. We gotta get him home. So I've been visiting this dog for 10 years. 10 years I've been visiting this dog. And he's coming to the end of his life, unfortunately. And I was thinking about this last night, that I'll probably never see this dog again because of COVID, because just can't go anywhere. So I commissioned a sculptor from Devon in the UK to make a statue of this dog. And I'm going to Angus with the rock. He's going to sculpt the dog with the rock, and I'm going to give it to this couple after Angus passes away. And I just want to shout out to Angus. Angus is my rock.
This is interesting because most people, I would dare say, maybe they've been influenced and sentimental about a certain thing, they wouldn't think in any certain circumstance to make a statue of something. Yet you have decided that
this dog is, he's just, he's like, in poems, there's like verses, you know, like this dog has been a line break in my life for 10 years. And he's got a Facebook page. If you type in Dalmally dog Angus, there he is. And I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to fucking commission this statue and I'm going to give it to this couple. And they're not going to hear this because it's going to be a massive surprise. I'm going to live stream it. It's going to be this big thing.
So now, first of all, to get the statue, do you have a picture? How is the statue maker?
I send him a bunch of photographs of Angus. I tell him what I want him to do. He does a crude clay sculpture just to get the proportions right, and then you want because like the rock in the mouth has to happen. Like the Angus loves his rock. He's this one rock. Fucking this, he carried. It's like the old Scottish tradition of a stone carrying.
Ooh, very.
You know,
okay.
Angus
Symbolic.
would take this rock and he would bring it to Glasgow, and bring it back to Dalmally. So the rock's going to be in the mouth, and then he says, like, are you happy with this? And then I'm like, yeah, all right, go ahead. And then he does the full sculpture thingy and then paints it. And then
what material does he make the final sculpture from?
Yeah, it's in clay, and it's fired, it's in ceramic. Well, I have a choice. I want it to be out because I want the statue to be on the station platform for a very long time. So I asked him, look, what can you do? He said, like, I'll fire it for a long time so that it'll preserve the thing. It might have to be repainted every like 50 years or whatever, but and I'm gonna fly into London, drive to Devon, pick up the statue, and drive all the way up to Dalmally and just give it to this couple.
Wow.
Yeah. And that'll be, for me, I can die happy. I could die with a smile on my face after that. That I gave them, because Dalmally Station, it's this just cute station. They've got loads of other statues. But this dog, like every time I would drive there, last time I was there was 2019 in October. Angus would he knows me. He fucking knows. He would piss himself. He pissed himself whenever I shut up. And then the guy's like, he fucking pushed himself again, Angus, because he was excited to see me. Yeah. And that's probably the most love I've ever received in my life from that dog. So I'm going to do
Jesus,
this nice thing.
Now we're going deep. This is the most love you've ever experienced in your life.
Dogs are they're just the best, you know? And Angus is the best dog, so he's getting that statue. And that's another thing. I've resigned myself to never seeing that dog again, because I would have been in Scotland at least 3 times during COVID.
Do you think there's something in us, I don't know if it's souls like you and I, or if it's a more general human thing, like we want to find something that's unique to call our own? Like, probably if you travel all around the place, I see fucking a dog statue. You travel across Europe on the Interrail or whatever, you see a fucking dog statue. You're like, what the fuck is this dog? Yeah. But for you, that has meaning, right? For someone else, that may be just like, what the fuck? There's some other dog statue in this town. But for you, that has meaning. For a few people, it has meaning. And that what we're trying to do is just find some small place in some small way and have an effect. And that has meaning. I don't know, like
it's like it's leaving something behind.
Yeah, this small place that shouldn't really have had an effect on you has had an effect on you, and we're looking for those small connections.
But I have many of these places. But this is the this is the one. This is I'm going to give them that statue, and it's going to be there long after I'm dead. So long after the owners are dead. I just hope the fucking whoever takes over the train station doesn't go, fuck is that shitty statue?
Right, because that's the interesting thing, that it's sort of like, what is the, let's say 100 years from now, we're like, what the fuck is this dog, right? But we don't know that the dog didn't defeat the empire, the dog didn't cure poverty.
Just had a rock.
The dog was just a nice dog.
Yeah, nice dog, yeah.
And that's hard to communicate if you weren't there, or you don't know the legend, or because as humans, we want a story, we want a legend, we want a, oh, and then the dog dragged the woman out of the fire, and that's why, and that woman went on to be the leader of something.
But this dog is just my legend. It's just my thing,
right.
you know?
That's
I'm doing
legend.
it just for me. I don't care.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't have, like, I don't even know why I'm telling the story.
It's an interesting
emailed the
story.
guy last night.
How, okay, what's the region of how much this statue costs?
Not much, £300.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I was building.
Oh, you were
somebody.
hoping like 10
Yeah,
grand
I
or
was gonna be
something.
like, Tim Reedy sinks
No,
$5 grand
no.
into this particular.
He's a small dog.
Okay, it's a small dog. Fine, we don't have much
He's a
clay.
small dog. He's a
All
small
right,
dog.
but still, nevertheless, still, I put it to you that most people out there are not commissioning statues for 300 quid themselves. So it's still
because most people lack it. They just lack empathy, you know.
I definitely lack empathy, but that's something different.
Yeah, but like, you do lack empathy.
Totally lack empathy.
Many people lack empathy. You know? That's why I love James Humphreys so much, because he's like the first person I've connected with who has the same kind of weird, like, British Isles empathy that I do. You know?
Huh. That's interesting, the way to term that. The British Isles empathy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna turn it to Kerry, like a Kerry. But James has the same kind of empathy that I do.
There is a certain sense of community in that I certainly don't have. That you're like, yes.
I assume Estonians have it too, but we're just like, we don't know because we're outsiders. You know what I mean? But especially in Kerry, Jesus Christ, like your neighbor, you might never speak to him once in your life, but he still give you the shirt off your back.
Yeah.
Off his back, sorry. Not gonna pull your own shirt and give it back to you. You know?
Yeah, I don't. I'd lack empathy on many levels.
You should. You
academically.
can change that, Lewis. You can get empathy and be nicer. You know, just be nice.
Because I'm a cunt usually.
You're fucking arsehole.
Terrible cunt usually.
And actually, do you know what? Interestingly enough, it's like it's a womanly trait to have empathy.
All right, sure, can be associated with women.
So I'm just a big woman.
Just a big fag, really.
Like I love hanging out with you and Riley because I feel like a gay guy when I talk to her. Because we have this. Oh my god, I love those shoes.
Right, and I'm just like
if she saw my boots, like we could have a 10-minute conversation about
she like the fucking boots.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, it's sequined and green because Ireland, because Patrick's Day, you know.
Yeah, sure. I see the green now. I see the connection.
Yeah.
They just look a bit Irish, actually. Yeah, I've got nothing. I'm like, I'm just a bit of a robot sometimes, and that's actually a problem when forming relationships.
It's probably a good thing business-wise, though. You know? Makes a good businessman.
Maybe business-wise, but not, if you're trying to form relationships, does lack of empathy.
You need empathy, Lewis. You need more empathy in your life. You need to just like not think of yourself all the time. You know, think of others first before yourself.
Jesus, it is difficult to do.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do. You just got to think of others first.
Yeah.
You know, and stop dyeing your hair. By the way, just stop dyeing.
I know. I should. Sorry. Pardon me. Just
embrace the gray.
I should embrace my grey baldness.
I have.
Here I am going bald, going grey. It's this.
You're not bald.
That was part of the joke.
Look at your fucking head of hair.
That's the joke. That I'm not. Oh my god, Tim Reedy.
But stop dyeing your hair though.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
And Caleb, don't fucking shave. Caleb shaved his beard. Fucking
Caleb, bro.
Sell out.
With his TikTok and his.
Yeah. Anyway, this has gone on way too long. If you are still listening, thank you very much. I appreciate the first half. Look, the first half of the episode. Ignore the pimple on my face. We tried to do a regular podcast talking about Estonian issues, clickbait you into stuff. But I enjoyed it. And I understand that the second half, then we degenerated into a drunken conversation. If you like that, we're happy with that. Thank you very much for listening. Shout out to Angus, the dog. Shout out to the dog. Shout out to Caleb. Live long enough so I can fucking see you again. Come back, just so Tim can see you one more time, and then you can both die, and then it's all for nothing. Oh wait, I lack empathy. I can't wait to die. Oh, sorry. Oh, Tim, you're going to die soon. I like your shirt, by the way. NASA shuttle, the space shuttle. Sure, Challenger. We're all gonna die soon. Yeah. All right, we gotta get some food or something. I don't know. We gotta do something else. 7 o'clock. Jeez. What? 7 o'clock? Hey, it's Rum-o'clock. Rum-o'clock. Rummy over here. All right, well, let's wrap it up. Thank you very much, Tim. No problem. And no problem. Cool. Thank you for enjoying another drunken rambling episode.
Let's do it. Bam.